Somebody had sent this video to me. It's by a content creator named Alchemist Alcor. We watched their DSP video, or we reacted to it, excuse me, a while back. It was pretty good. It makes solid content. And, excuse me, they came out with a new one about Boogie, and I'm curious. I'm curious. So we're going to watch it. It's pretty in-depth. The last one was solid. You know what I mean? So this one, I'm sure, will be solid as well. Let's get this party started. Boogie2988. Stephen J. Williams. Comprehensive documentary. Let's get this party started.
That was comfortable enough.
Let's start from the beginning.
Sorry. Giant fat ass. You're the fat ass. No, you're the fat ass. You're the fat ass.
Whoa, what's happening?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again.
Yeah, this is my
The
dad.
power of the internet.
Why do you have a camera?
Because I wanted to get this on film.
I'm not going to talk to you if you have a camera.
Look, it's cool, but are you sure?
I feel like all these are jokes, and the music, though, makes it seem like they're super serious, so it's crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not for me. Then nobody can have it. How about that?
This is a video I promised myself I would make 10 years ago when my mom died.
It's needless to say that not all villains are born, but rather some are made, and the most tragic of them all are the fallen heroes, individuals whose work and ethics elevated them above the masses, making them a shining example of something greater. However, after a tragic event or prolonged period of degradation, they eventually become the thing they were fighting against, and now their very existence is a mockery to everything they stood for during their time of heroism. It is a tale as old as time, and while aspects of the story change from person to person, the vicious
Beauty and the Beast. Sorry, I just felt like having a beautiful moment with you guys. Yeah, I guess so. When it comes to people changing, I feel like the internet just kind of changes you. You learn something weird about, especially if you're an online creator, and it's just there's just so many different things that happen that like change you a little bit as a person. Sometimes you kind of feed a little too much into your audience, or I don't know, crazy stuff.
cycle of rise and eventual fall is still very much the same. These stories can be found in many real-life examples, whether it be in people we know or in people we thought we knew. Although tragic, these stories at least now serve as a warning to anyone who is in the spotlight. It is completely subjective whether you think Boogie2988 falls into this category or not. One of the older creators who had a significant impact on this platform. You might remember him as a kind gentleman who always wanted to do the right thing and give other people support, even when life didn't treat him all that well. However, no one can deny that the end of the road for this YouTuber is probably around the corner. Once regarded as the Mr. Rogers of YouTube, mentioning Boogie now in any serious debate feels like breathing in a lethal amount of poison. His reputation.
Jesus. That's intense. A lethal. It feels like breathing in a lethal amount of poison. Fucking based, dude. Holy moly.
Has deteriorated to a point where many say there isn't much he could do to sink even lower. The rock bottom is truly here, and unfortunately it is here to stay. The story of Boogie2988 is the story of a man who couldn't escape the shadow of his past. It is a story of sorrow and inspiration, of gluttony and desire.
You know, the reality is that like you're gonna get to a point where people are gonna start putting eyes on you, and then it's like how you react to that is really what it comes down to. If this guy just stopped caring about the criticism he got, he would probably perform significantly better. But he cares too much, you know? Because that's the thing. People could do something wrong, but if nobody is watching them, it doesn't really matter, and it may come off as like, oh, this person isn't doing anything wrong. Then once people start like watching their stuff, two things will happen. One, they'll point out their mistakes. Two, they're going to be disproportionate in pointing out their mistakes or report things that aren't actual mistakes as mistakes. And it just kind of, you get to a point where you have to learn to just not care in some capacity and find people around you that can give you reasonable criticism when you're getting criticized. Because again, you get disproportionate criticism all over like the internet, and then you're like, oh, what's real, what's fake, what do I... And if you lean too much into it, you set the stage for your audience to be able to, every time you make what they think is a mistake, you give your audience license to just like act like just shit all over the place. So that's why you need to like stand your ground sometimes, because you, for real, if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, and there are people who will change their perspective because they're getting criticism. You need to not do that. Just change your perspective if you feel you're wrong, but don't make it because of criticism, because then people will just start criticizing you constantly, and then you're giving them the feedback loop that you'll just change based on whatever they say.
And sadly, of his inevitable undoing. Turn back now or join me in this subjective look at one of the oldest creators on this platform.
Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? As you can tell from the title of this video, this is not going to be a laugh fest.
Boogie2988, or Boogie for short, is an internet nickname for a man called Stephen J. Williams. Stephen was born on July 24, 1974 in a small Virginian town of St. Paul, and as we all know, his childhood wasn't something...
The worst of the Pauls. He's appalling. I meant the Saints, but I don't really know St. Paul. You know, okay, anyway.
We would consider normal. His father was an alcoholic and his mother abused him and his two siblings, sometimes to very extreme degrees.
That's
I was
sad.
abused. Not once a month. Not once a week, but physically every day.
Jesus.
Sometimes with a small gap in between of a day. I was cut. I was burnt with cigarettes. I was stabbed. I was thrown. I was picked up and thrown. Steven's sitting here thinking about that stuff. So many stories I want to tell, and even now I'm ashamed to tell them.
Born into such an
That's terrible. Do you think the reason why he ate so much is so that he would be too heavy to throw? I'm sorry. That was over the line. That was over the line, guys. That was too much. I'm sorry, Boogie. Sorry. I do know that there's... That's too much. I do know that there are some people who will, like, eat a lot. Like, if they're getting, like, you know, abused and, you know what I mean? Abused. They'll eat a lot to become less, to be seen as less attractive to people. So maybe that's part of it. That's rough, man. That's rough. Okay.
Abusive home, Steven suffered an absorbent amount of physical and mental torture. He always talked a lot about his mother in particular, with most of the tragic stories from his early childhood being perpetrated by her, while his father, a coal miner, was always at work. Steven recalled one time when his mother broke his brother's nose because she caught him drinking. While his sister hated home so much, she tried many times to run away, to the point where their mother gave up on her and just handed her away to foster care.
My sister continually ran away. She ran away at the age of 11, the age of 12. She had a family member trying to adopt her. Eventually, Mom just turned her over to foster care, to the child services, and just let her go. And that left me alone in the home, and it just kind of went downhill from there.
But it was also in that...
Why didn't...
Just let her... Family member trying to adopt her. Eventually, Mom...
Why did they want to adopt her and not Boogie, I wonder?
Just turned her over to foster care, to the child services, and just let her go. And that left me alone in the home, and it just kind of went downhill from there.
But it was also in that abusive environment that Steven found an attraction for video games, where he and his brother would attend local arcade to take their minds off the depressing reality.
Wait, they just wanted the daughter? What about the two brothers? I'm just curious why they would just choose the one. That's interesting.
They had to face at home. Pac-Man in particular stuck out to Steven, saying it was one of the biggest joys in his life during this period. After some time, his brother also left home because he enrolled in college, leaving Steven alone in a home that seemed to show no signs of stopping the mistreatment. Unfortunately, things only got worse from here. As if being subjugated to a psychological abuse wasn't enough, his mother also fed Steven only junk food, which caused him to gain excessive amounts of weight. He was...
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I guess she just wasn't cooking and she was being lazy or something, you know? Or maybe, I don't know. If she was in a wheelchair, I doubt she's working. I wonder why, if maybe she just didn't care, or I don't know, man. This seems really fucked. Nobody really talks about this stuff when it comes to Boogie. Everybody brings up like everything bad he's done. Nobody brings this up. It's pretty terrible.
Was also never taught about the importance of dental hygiene, meaning he didn't brush his teeth that often, which eventually resulted in Boogie being in a lot of pain due to the rotting teeth he had in his mouth. Being morbidly obese at such a young age caused him to get bullied by his high school peers, adding to the strain on his mental state. But high school wasn't all bad. One teacher in particular that Steven called as Miss Wall encouraged him to start reading, and here he found his appreciation for many writers like Stephen King and Douglas Adams. Eventually his father's alcoholism caught up with him to a point in which he got a stroke that permanently damaged his brain, making him an invalid for the rest of his life.
Is that I'm not trying to be rude. Is that like a good thing though, considering he was abusive? You know what I mean? I don't know.
This event awoke something dark in Steven's mother, making her abuse more extensive. She once almost
Never mind. Stand corrected. Very sorry.
beat Steven to death, while on the other occasion where she
Jesus
scratched him while driving,
Christ.
Steven would, out of fear for his life, jump out of a running car onto the road.
Switch the car around and start driving to a bank. She's like, now I'm going to be late for work. And she begins to, while driving her car, speeding down the road, clawing at my face. And I remember she caught my left eye just briefly, scratching the cornea a tiny little bit. And my brain just took over. That PTSD, that fight or flight just took over. And we were doing 30 miles an hour, but I just opened the door to the car and I got out.
This last situation was especially
Holy fuck. This is horrible. Holy shit.
depressing when you consider that his teachers and fellow students all saw this take place and still did nothing after such a bizarre event to help Steven escape his toxic environment. The most insane thing in all of
Really?
this must be
The teachers didn't even call like CPS? I wonder why. I guess they didn't see the scratching part. Maybe they saw him roll out the car, but they didn't see the scratching parts. They're just like, oh, that's Boogie being a silly goose again. That's our Steven being a sussy baka.
fact that his mother was a preschool teacher, and by the stories she took good care of the kids under her supervision while being respectful toward their parents. You could say that life sometimes has a really sick sense of humor. Speaking of life, it would continue like this for a long time, leaving even more depressing stories in its wake, like the time Steven was trying to take care of a cat that his mom injured only to find it dead on the floor when he came back from school one day. Things would finally get better for
Jesus
Steven when
Christ.
he joined Upward Bound, an educational program where his life seemed to be getting the relief he desperately needed. Through this program, he would meet a lot of new people who were not inclined to mock Steven, but rather to get to know him. It seemed like Steven had found some genuine friends with whom he could play board and card games. It was also in that program that he would meet his first girlfriend. This new situation finally created a ray of
A girl in playing cards? I don't know about that, dude. I don't know if I believe you, dude. Come on, bro. A girl in school. Wait. In Magic the Gathering cards, right? That's what they were doing, right?
card games. It was also in that program that he would meet his first girlfriend.
Wow.
This new situation finally created a ray of light in Steven's dark world. It seemed like this period was probably one of the few good memories he had from his childhood, but eventually he finished high school and then went on to enroll in college. A few months before leaving home for the upcoming semester, his mother would hit him for the last time, where Steven would also stand up for himself after decades of abuse.
And I realized that I had maybe 150 pounds on this already very large woman, and I stood almost a foot taller than her.
Wow.
And I grabbed her hands and I said, Mom, I think we're done with this. I don't think you get to hit me anymore. And she says, when you let go of my hands, I can't believe you're hurting me. I can't believe you're hurting me. I'm sorry I'm hurting you, but we're just not going to do this anymore. You're not going to hurt me anymore. And she says, when you let go of my hands, I am going to kill you. And I'm like, and that
Jesus Christ.
may very well be the case, but you're not going to hit me.
In college, he would find new friends and his life seemed to be getting better. Unfortunately, you could remove Steven from an abusive home, but it seemed you couldn't remove an abusive home from Steven, as he was left with huge baggage from his past in the
Yeah, I remember him talking. I briefly saw him talk about how he no longer he's no longer going to like he doesn't want to have kids. How he didn't want to have kids because of like the teachings that he learned. What are you talking about? Ethan's new video. You watched the new Ethan video. What are you talking about?
form psychological problems as well as morbid obesity. Add to this a tragic breakup with his then girlfriend, the same one he met in high school Upward Bound program, and you can see how the problems were bound to arise. Steven would never finish college, but instead of returning home, he relocated to Fayetteville, Arkansas to live with his brother. However, his brother was married at the time, and he didn't get quite along with his wife. Steven's presence definitely made the situation more awkward, so he decided to leave after only 6 months. But with nowhere else to go, he was, during the
Wait, so he moved in?
However, he finished college, but instead of returning home, he relocated to Fayetteville, Arkansas to live with his brother. However,
Oh, yeah, I could see why that would put like a little pressure on there. Like he's staying with his brother. The wife's probably like, come on, 6 months, a little much. I get that.
awkward, so he decided to leave after only 6 months. But with nowhere else to go, he was, during this period, practically homeless, sleeping mostly on couches in university lounges or anywhere else that was comfortable enough for him to spend the night.
So sometimes I would sleep in a TV lounge here at this dorm or a different dorm if I couldn't get into Chad's room. If I couldn't get into the dorm, I would sneak into a faculty building, a computer lab. I'd stay on the computers all night and just not sleep at night. Sometimes I'd fall asleep on a couch or a chair in those computer labs. I did whatever it took to stay warm, stay alive.
He also had to forage for food from time to time while trying to keep with any other necessities to stay alive. His friend Chad, taking pity on his situation, gave him a place to stay in his dorm room where he had an extra bed for the semester. Steven attempted to earn some money by applying for various jobs, but there were only so many job opportunities for a man weighing around 200 kilograms at a time.
What is a kilogram? What's not even a real person money? Or what is that? I believe that's 440 pounds. Oh, incredible.
This meant that the few jobs he managed to get paid only a minimum wage. Despite his terrible financial situation, Steven did start to...
Well, I mean, I'm sure the weight's a factor, absolutely, but I'm also sure, like, what qualifications would he even have if you know, this besides his weight?
Save money as well as sell some of his personal belongings. Thanks to this, he managed to pay for his own apartment, where he moved with his other friend Eric, whom he met while playing Magic the Gathering, which was his most favorite card game. The apartment at first had literally no furniture except the mattresses that...
That's all a man needs. I was gonna say, how small do you think that apartment is? But that's all a man really needs, dude. Just give me a mattress on the floor and a little television and a PlayStation and the Xbox, Mom, and we're all good.
Landlord left as a part of a deal, but with even more dedication, they managed to fill up the apartment with all the necessities. Being good with computers, Steven started to teach himself HTML at a local college so that he could design websites. This skill set ended up being a great asset because he eventually even managed to get some clients who...
I mean, that's actually like really, I don't know if you'd say lucky that he started doing computers, because that's like the way, that's the wave of the future, guys. Tremendous job opportunities if you do that kind of stuff in general. Learning anything computer related, to be honest with you. It's crazy.
paid
You ever
very
think
well
of what
for
you
his
wanted to do?
services. Finally, the money started to come in, meaning Steven's financial situation improved remarkably, enough that he could indulge in his hobbies rather than just trying to stay alive. He gained even more friends, with all of whom he started to share his love of Magic the Gathering. As far as
Magic
Steven
the
was concerned,
Gathering.
life was getting significantly better. Regrettably, as the time passed, designing websites became less and less profitable. This was primarily due
Really?
to the fact that people outside of the US would also begin to design websites, but for much less money and time. Steven just couldn't keep up with this new
that
trend,
makes
with him
sense.
now working around 8 to 16 hours a day, with significantly less money coming in from his clients.
Eventually, the same website I would design over the course of a week, people outside of the country, once the rest of the world got on the internet, people outside of the country would design the exact same website using templates in half the time I would, and they charge $25 for it. So
Damn. Well, maybe you need a little more expertise if you can replicate what you're doing with a template. But okay, that sucks.
that's what I started having to do. Went from making $500 a job to $200 a job to $100 a job to $50 a job, and I went from working 4 to 8 hours a day to working.
See, that's why you need racists, guys, so that they don't want to hire people from other countries, and they'll be like, no, I'd rather pay 10 times the price for the same product. We need more racism, guys. Come on, get it smarten up, dude. This is why racism is good, dude. I'm just kidding. Where am I?
16 hours a day.
The situation has become so bad that he was once again approaching the poverty line, where the income was barely enough for him to pay his bills and keep him afloat. We must also consider the fact that his eating habits were unfortunately still following him from St. Paul, because he still consumed massive amounts of calories on a daily basis.
True. It's interesting though, like, because I think this, I think the argument he's making is like he's really he's like obese, so he's probably spending tremendous amounts of money on food. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Only because, like, if he was eating healthier food, his body would probably auto-regulate a little bit better because, it's more nutrient dense and whatnot. So you're gonna be full more and faster. But since he's eating shit, it's probably cheap. It's just cheap, disgusting shit. That's probably, it might have been. I don't know. I wonder if it's as expensive to eat, like, 4,000 calories of cheap McDonald's versus eating like 2,000 or 2,500 calories of actual healthy food, considering the cost of healthy food sometimes. I'm just curious. Oh my god, this is terrible. I'm gonna fucking This guy's
To a
overplaying
point where
so
he
hard.
reached a mind-boggling 250 kilograms, the largest he ever was. Add to this his new depression that was caused by overworking, and it is easy to see that food was much more than just means to survive for Steven. Food was a coping mechanism.
Absolutely.
Eventually, even his
True.
web design business failed entirely, which led him to get a part-time job at a local gaming store called the Gallery of Champions to try to fix his finances. Even the store would eventually fall on hard times, which meant that Steven couldn't be paid. But he absolutely loved working there, mostly because of the people he met and because of his love of card games, so he offered to work there on some occasions for absolutely free. Nevertheless, this was still a horrible situation in which Steven had no way of sustaining himself. In what could be considered one of the worst parts of his life, Steven would borrow money any way he could, as well as apply for disability benefits. This was due to the fact that his weight has become such a problem for him that he was barely mobile. His mental state has become so bad that, in his own words, he was eating so much that he was hoping that food would put him in an early grave. Not to mention that his father also died of cancer around this time. All of this also had a terrible impact on his physical health.
I'm gonna die. I'm what, like, how did that make him feel after that happened? Like his father passing away, considering he's so abusive. I wonder like what was going through his head. There's like a mixture of like, this guy was so bad to me, but he's still my father type of a deal. Me personally, I'll be Fortnite dancing on my father's grave. I'm pretty fucking based.
Which was never good to begin with when you consider that Steven nearly died at the age of 25 because of lymphedema infection in his leg.
Damn.
But what they didn't realize is that I had a condition called lymphedema, which is causing this porous material to appear in my legs, and that porous material was eventually getting infected, and it was almost impossible to fight the infection in it. So over the course of 3 or 4 months, I ended up getting this infection that rotted the flesh, actually necrotized the flesh.
I'm not laughing at the video. I'm laughing at this guy who just like ran through a bunch of mobs, and of course the tank's not paying attention because this guy's a fucking goober brain.
And they originally wanted to amputate the leg.
Damn.
There was the infection was so bad.
That's
First they
fucking
had to
crazy,
remove the infection that was in my heart, so they ran a PICC line directly to my heart, and they pumped from the strongest antibiotics known to man directly into my heart to try to keep me alive. And they succeeded. And then slowly and surely over the next 6.5 months, they managed to heal that leg.
As you might expect, binge eating and playing World of Warcraft non-stop did not help this situation.
What?
This is the time when Steven would spend...
What are you talking about? What? Nothing ever went wrong with playing World of Warcraft all the time, constantly. Are you kidding me, dude? Come on, bro. Now you're just being gamer phobic. Okay, World of Warcraft is the greatest game in the world. This expansion's actually slapping, though. All jokes aside.
his life as a shut-in for almost 7 years. But no matter how bad things were, this was also the beginning of something great, because on April 6, 2006, Steven launched his YouTube channel under the name Boogie2988.
Why that name? It's a weird name to choose.
Boogie would start to post videos on this newly created platform so that he could give himself something to kill the time. The first of his videos mostly consisted of him acting foolish in front of a camera, while at the same time using his weight as a central theme. Early YouTube, being what it was, seemed to like this type of behavior, which gave him some attention as he slowly started to gain views and subscribers. YouTube gave Boogie a new meaning in life, but there seemed to be a trend in Steven's life at that point, which is that a good thing must always be followed by a very bad one. In October of 2009, Boogie's mother got really sick and would eventually pass away. The impact was devastating for him, something he showed a lot in his videos, where he would recall his mother on a few occasions.
I haven't talked a lot about my mom. There's video footage of her up here on this channel. Some people have made fun of her. Some people have said she seems really sweet. Some people know some of the backstory about her.
I don't know, Papa, Fortnite dancing? A little extreme. Yeah, sorry, the Fortnite dancing in my father's grave is a little too much. What do you think I should do, like an Among Us dance instead? That might be a little bit more respectful of that fucking scumfuck. Sorry.
And I'd like to share some of that with you now.
One of the notable moments was when he was near her deathbed, where she apologized to Steven for ruining his life.
And then she looked up at me with this look in her eyes that I'll never forget, and she says, "I'm sorry."
Damn.
And I said, "For what?"
That's it.
And she said, "I ruined your life."
And he said,
I said,
"True,
"No,
based."
No, I
I
like who I am.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Oh, you like who I am?
It is clear that he wanted to remember his mother for all the good things she has done while attempting to forget all the bad. This loss was so great for Boogie that he even contemplated suicide, but in the end he decided to stay and fight because of his friends. And while this was a tragic period in his life, it didn't stop him from posting videos, making even more personal vlogs that attracted even more people, and he would eventually hit the jackpot with his made-up character, which he named Francis.
Well, I mean, like the real question is like, what is Boogie main in World of Warcraft, realistically speaking? Because like we could run some keys, brother. We could run some keys.
It's me, Francis, again.
What was my favorite expansion before this one? My favorite expansion before this one was Legion. Honestly, that was probably. I think that might have been the best expansion that was like ever made. Is Legion? It was really good.
And I am really pissed off. 2009, if you weren't aware, was a shitty year for gaming. Pretty much up until last month. Okay, I was stuck playing World of fucking Warcraft every fucking day because there were no other games to play.
Francis was a big part of his YouTube channel in the early days. In these videos, Boogie was acting as a stereotypical gamer who overreacted to every inconvenience thrown his way. On some occasions, he would also break stuff around him.
Wait, did he say the N-word a lot then? Because that is the stereotypical gamer, brother. Holy moly. Holy moly, the amount of base language coming out of that community is incredible. It's unceasable. That's like a weird meme between my friends. It's incredible. So... Anyway, let's move on.
In a hilarious fit of rage, an overweight man acting idiotic in a video skit seemed to draw a lot of people to the point where one particular video in this format called Francis Gets His Warcraft Account Hacked would be an absolute banger and would catapult Boogie's status on YouTube to new heights.
Piss off. You fucking authenticator? You fucking authenticator, I have one, you son of a bitch, you gonna get fucking help!
The reason why is because in 2010, an extremely popular YouTuber at the time called Ray William Johnson featured that video on his show Equals 3, directing tens of thousands of people to Boogie's channel.
When I first found this last video, I thought I had struck gold. Now the video itself is about this guy, Francis. And Francis loves playing World of Warcraft, but unfortunately for him, his account was hacked, and he's a tad bit upset about it.
So was that like the original pull to the Boogie? People just couldn't tell he was trolling, and then like the individual here are like doesn't know how to dispel the enemy, like our fucking invoker, because he's like basically boosted his character starting at level 58. Like, oh fucking base, dude, how about you learn to play the fucking game? It's gonna piss me off, honestly. All right, you could dispel that shield he has on him. He dies instantly. So we're taking fucking boatloads of damage right through our fucking cockholes. But hey, who the fuck am I to teach you how to play the game? You stupid fuck. Sorry.
I'm crying a little bit tonight. I'm just really upset. I don't.
Damn.
All right, Francis, calm down. I'm sure your World of Warcraft account was getting you laid left and right.
But even though people came to his channel for his silly skits and Francis acts, they stayed for more personal vlog videos where Boogie just talked about himself or life in general. From the very beginning, he was always open about his upbringing, sharing his experiences of what it is to grow up in an abusive home. It is here that he also shared advice and support with his many viewers. Many people believe that the image of who Boogie was is the main reason he rose to fame in such a short period of time. At the core of his persona is a damaged man who is trying to be the best person he can be, despite the trauma from the past that is still haunting him. So not Naturally, people flocked to his side in massive numbers to offer their support, and how could they not? With such a tragic backstory, you couldn't help but feel pity for the man. But, as it is always the case, fame brought with it a slew of trolls who were primarily interested in mocking Boogie's appearance. A common practice that, sadly, always comes with popularity. The main problem here is that Boogie gave those people much more attention than he should have, because he made multiple videos on the subject which showed a certain amount of insecurity when faced with mockery or criticism.
Yeah, you know, it's not. Yeah, is it the? I don't know if I'd call it insecurity. Maybe it's one of those things where, I mean, it's to me, it's much simpler than that. Like, trolls want attention. If you give them too much attention, they're gonna start like this. Just gonna like put them in a space where they're like, oh, I might as well just keep doing this because I'm getting the response I want, which is like a fucking, you know, which is a response. That's usually what they want, a response regardless. You know, so that's the.
I want to start off by saying you don't know me, and the 30 seconds of video that you think you saw, it doesn't give you the chance or the opportunity to get to know me. And so when you see me, what do you see? You see a big guy. You see someone 4 times as large as you'll ever be in your life, and you think how stupid he must be, how worthless, how ignorant, how sad. Well, you don't know me. You're never going to know me. You're only going to know what I put inside these little boxes, inside these little videos, and make you think, and make you wonder, and make you question what you're doing.
Shit.
His unhealthy obsession with his detractors would follow him to the present day, and it is possible that that was the catalyst that would eventually lead him to his current situation. But as the time would go by, Boogie would start to make money through AdSense, something that came as a godsend for someone in his.
Yeah, I know it's hard to tell which one is me and which one is Boogie, so, you know, just be careful. Be careful which one it is, you know?
Situation, because the opportunity to make money doing what you love is not something that everyone just gets to do. The years would go by like this for a while, with Boogie still making videos about games and of course Magic the Gathering, but it was his personal vlogs that attracted the attention of a particular fan who saw Boogie as an inspiration because of her own tragic life situation. When they began talking, it was soon discovered that they had a lot of things in common, and because of that they took a great liking to each other, but the physical distance between them was just too great, so they started an online relationship at first. Eventually she did move out to Arkansas so they could live together. Her name was Desiree, known to us as Des, and Boogie immediately knew that she was the one. This would encourage him to get better at life.
Oh, I hope that they had a really nice backstory and they stayed together for a long time. That's a beautiful, what a beautiful story.
As well as YouTube, pushing him to do more physical activities to help with his weight, and also taking on the role of Francis' sister in Boogie's famous skits.
Here, I'm sorry, okay?
Princess, that's like $1.80.
I don't know, it's like a fucking down payment, okay? I don't know what you expect from me. I don't have a fucking job, okay? I'm a YouTube check, you can hear you, I don't have any money.
Okay, well then I'm taking your iPad.
No, don't take my fucking iPad. No, god damn it.
Obviously you can't be trusted with it.
Well, I'll give you the money, just give me back my fucking iPad. I want to beat the, give it, take your fucking money. I want to beat the level, let me beat the level!
Because of Boogie's size, she didn't work at first, but would look after him for the time being, meaning that Boogie was the main income provider for the household. Nevertheless, she seemed to have a very positive influence on him, something Boogie realized himself, so after less than 2 years since the start of the relationship, he would pop the question.
And not only have I become happier, I've actually become happy. The kind of happy that when I wake up in the morning, I'm glad to face the day, and when I go to bed at night, I'm kind of sad because the day is over. But not only that, you've given me the possibility, the future.
Mega cringe, Boogie.
Family of my own.
Never tell women that you love them. Okay, that's what I learned out of the manosphere. Never admit your love to a woman. They are stupid, and they do not deserve it. Okay.
Something we've been working on together for the past 2 years. Something I dreamt about as a child. Something that not only did I need, but something that I wanted. Someone to be with, to love, to cherish, to have, and to hold, etc., etc. So that's why I wanted to. That's why I wanted to make it official.
It's okay. Wow, beautiful.
So I got you this.
Wow.
And Des, I'm asking you to marry me.
Personally, I would have maybe done this offline. You know what I mean? I don't know the story here, but you know, this is a cautionary tale about giving too much of your personal information out, like, or being a little too emotional online, I guess you'd say. You know, I get it. It happens to the best of us. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. It happens to the best of us. It does happen to the best of us, but you definitely want to kind of maintain that, and it seems like a lot of his content, though, it is kind of, wow, incredible. Does kind of engage in like a little bit of oversharing, and then you kind of get that feedback loop because he probably gets positive attention from the oversharing too. That thing is just standing in the fucking sanguine right now, and this is pissing me off, dude. Oh, I am too. Wait for a donation to come through. I think it's happening. I think it's happening. It's coming through. Oh, it's standing in sanguine again. Holy fuck.
Cosmo Mosero super chatted $10. Love you, Papa. Been watching for a while. Her takes are always intelligent, dude.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much, Cosmos Macaro. Did I say it right? It literally read it to me. But in my defense, the TTS always reads wrong. Okay.
Will you marry me?
Yes, I will, Boogie.
In 2013, the wedding would take place, and I still remember this montage as if it were yesterday. To be honest, when Boogie was getting married, I felt like I was getting married, which makes this video even harder to make. It is somehow uplifting to watch these older clips of Boogie being the best version of himself. For a time, it seemed that with all of the hardships thrown his way, as well as his horrible upbringing, Boogie somehow made it to the top by not only having a loving wife, but also having a job many people could only dream of.
Yeah. Pee-pee poo-poo. The job I dream of. That's the job I want, brother. Pee-pee poopy. Oh, this is an interesting path this guy's taking. I actually kind of like it. Wait, this is fucking incredibly good pathing. What's kind of good pathing? I don't want to give him too much credit. You know, then I have to respect him as a person. I don't do that.
Whoa! There was a need for a large amount of funds. Francis' video would do the job, with skits like "Where's my goddamn Mountain Dew?" currently sitting at 24 million views.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find my goddamn Mountain Dew. Yeah, did you drink my Mountain Dew? Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Let me smell your breath. Let me smell your breath.
Fat Guy Destroys Xbox has 12 million views.
Fuck!
It's fucking thundering.
And even less known Francis skits that Boogie recorded in his own room, like this one called Francis Hates Google+, which currently sits at 1.4 million views.
And you added ASCII art? People are drawing pictures of dicks! People are putting up pictures of dicks! Jesus Christ! LOL! Big fat dick! Are you kidding me? Oh, my comment section is dick, cock, dick, cock, dick. What the fuck, YouTube?
On the other
It sounds like a fucking dream, brother. It sounds like a goddamn dream, my dude. Oh, disgusting. Who would want to see dicks? Who would ever want to see dicks all the time? I wouldn't. Ever.
On the other hand, if he wanted to make a serious video, he could make one in the form of a vlog, where he discussed various subjects, even including topics like depression, loneliness, and even suicide. Viewers always appreciated Boogie for his mature approach to the subject and for being a support pillar for many people.
To a video created by a fellow YouTuber by the name of Matthew Santoro. And Matthew put up a video last week, then immediately took it down, called My Abuse Story.
Man.
I watched a re-upload of the video, and then I reached out to Matt and said that video made me feel a lot better about some of the things that happened to me, and because I had done that and many other people had done that, Matthew decided to put that video up again.
It is also here that he gained his level-headed reputation, because he would never take sides in any debate, but would always approach it from a centrist viewpoint. With all of this attention, it seemed reasonable that Boogie would eventually...
It's interesting because he gets a lot of shit for being a centrist, or like a fence-sitter, and like I'm thinking about it, because like this is the age of shitting on centrists. I wonder, again, like I feel like if he just didn't care about the criticism he was receiving about being called a centrist, people probably wouldn't like shit on him so much. Like, yeah, that's what I do. You know? Maybe that would have been better for... Dude, how are we not doing this? How the fuck do we have a DPS who's under... I'm fucking 358. I pulled like 370 fucking DPS. This guy sucks penis. Fuck.
Hit 1 million subscribers, and in 2013 he did just that, setting him to new heights of popularity.
Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet, making a video I never thought I would make.
Okay.
And that's a video celebrating my million subscriber landmark.
His status would extend outside of YouTube, since he also showed up in commercials and, most importantly, in a documentary series called Super Size vs Super Skinny, where Dr. Christian is trying to help people with weight problems by fixing their eating habits. This is especially significant because Boogie has been struggling with his own weight for quite some time now. As you might expect, weighing around 230 kilograms would result in a lot of discomfort for pretty much anyone. Many people at the time actually believed that Boogie promoted obesity, owing to his most popular videos in which he expressed his weight in a comedic manner. However, if they saw any...
They say he was promoting obesity because he's a fat person existing online. That's fucking incredible. Who really said that? That's incredible. If that's true, that's kind of funny. Like, holy fuck. Bro, existing as a fat person is apparently promoting obesity. Even if you're like, yeah, it's being fat's bad. It's incredible stuff, dude. It's fucking incredible. Holy moly. I'm about to wipe the group.
of his personal videos, they would see that anything but was the case. From the beginning, Boogie would encourage people to not let their eating habits ruin their lives like he did his. He said many times that he is very worried about his weight and what side effects it might bring. For quite some time now, he was also trying to lose it in any way he could. With a size like his, any real exercise was out of the question and dieting seemed to be the only option. Unfortunately, with food being such a big part of Boogie's life, he would always make no progress, or when he did make progress, he would always gain back any weight he managed to lose. All of this just showed how much he was still struggling with his demons from the past. Being left with what seemed to be like no options, he eventually decided to go for a gastric bypass surgery, which would drastically shrink his stomach so he would not be physically able to eat. However, the surgery was still in planning at this point, and it is not something one can do on a whim, and Boogie's thoughts were probably redirected at the first larger controversy he was involved in during his time on YouTube.
Woo!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
230 kilograms equals 507 pounds. Oh my God! Hey, Papa, thanks for the great 2020. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Wow.
Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet.
The power.
I've done one of these vlogging, rambling.
Boogie2988 coming at you with the power of the internet. What's up with this voice? It's fucking weird. Okay, cool stuff though. I respect it. I respect it. Okay.
Series videos in a while. It's my vlogging series. I like to call it my rambling series.
2014 would see Boogie reach 2 million subscribers, adding to his incredible rise. But because of his high status, he was dragged into the internet drama whether he wanted to or not, as this was also the year Gamergate first appeared. In case you don't know, Gamergate was an online movement dedicated to preserving ethics in video game journalism. Due to the actions of some members of the movement, it's often linked to misogyny within.
I need somebody to do a nice recap on Gamergate. Is there a TRO video about that? Only because like people are talking about like, listen, I don't know what actually happened. What it sounds like is that there are a lot of aggressive gamers who love being incredibly fucking based. And that there was some misogynies. I've also seen some of the memes of people like over complaining, like some women overcorrecting, like Anita Sarkeesian, you know? But that doesn't mean that the movement overall wasn't like bad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I wonder though. I've never had the opportunity to see it though.
In the gaming community. Gamergate itself was created after a scandal involving a certain game developer called Zoe Quinn. Supposedly, she had a relationship with multiple gaming journalists where the said journalists gave positive reviews of her game. The movement was also targeting media critic and feminist Anita Sarkeesian, a very controversial figure who gained fame for her video series Damsels in Distress, in which she tried to expose sexism and misogyny in video games by pointing out their design choices, gameplay features, and story elements.
It's probably true. A lot of times women were like in that classic trope of just being some big fat titties for men to save. Who doesn't want to save those? Wow, epic sexism moment right there. Okay, that's kind of true, I guess.
This series was extreme.
What is it called? Is it the bechamel test? B-E-S-C-H. Is that, what's the test? Bechamel? The measurement of representation of women in a film. Is bechamel a sauce? I don't know, but you understand what I'm saying.
Extremely misleading, citing the deceptive use of clips and sometimes fabricated gaming elements to push some kind of agenda. This led to many gamers starting a harass campaign against her, and some even sent death threats, which created yet another group of people defending Anita, and by this point everything had devolved into an absolute shit show. With everyone blaming and insulting each other, any real or genuine discussion on the topic was drowned out by all the noise. Gamergate is too large to cover in a few minutes, but you get the idea. With such a huge storm on the sea, Boogie had to, at some point, share his opinion on the subject. In his video about the topic, he sided with neither group, trying to keep his position as a moderator. You would think that choosing neither side would save him from any backlash, but a short time after the said video, Boogie's personal information got leaked online by one of Anita's supporters for supposedly helping encourage idiots to harass women, but...
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Elon want attention super chatted $4.99.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Free the tapes.
Okay. Gamergate controversy explained easy. By Cartoon PSA Stitch. I don't know if that's going to be a comprehensive study whatsoever. What is that, a 7-minute video? Maybe I'll watch that at some point. I'll put that on the list, but I'm not going to watch it here.
That wasn't the only thing, as all kinds of criticisms were being hurled at Boogie for his indifference on the subject. He did try to mend the flames with a few more videos, but it didn't seem to work. The Gamergate drama created a horrible situation for Boogie, but due to how controversial the topic is, he would have gotten hate no matter what he did, so there isn't much he could do to escape some kind of backlash. But not even this controversy was enough to grace his new empire, something that is apparent when you consider that in 2015, Boogie bought a house for him and his wife to live in. When you remember that
he bought a house!
Boogie was homeless 10 years ago in the same city where
the fuck was he living at this point? He probably told us in the video, but okay.
He just bought a house. We can say that this is an incredible example of financial turnaround.
Brother.
Everything one could hope.
Someone said react, Andy. Yes, sir. That's true.
Was within his grasp. A loving wife, a house, and an amazing support structure from his YouTube audience. The only thing that seemed to still be a constant problem was
I wasn't expecting that.
his weight, something he still could fix, despite numerous videos in which he explained how he was attempting to lose it. The main issue was still that the diet did eventually work, but Boogie's eating habits would soon catch up with him and he would regain all the weight he had lost or fix, despite numerous videos in which he explained how he was attempting to lose it. The main issue was still that the diet did eventually work, but Boogie's eating habits would soon catch up with him and he would regain all the weight he had lost or even go above it in some cases. Since the
Yeah, man, that's like one of the big issues with like diets. Sometimes you can get to a that's the problem with trying to lose weight. Sometimes, I mean, you should try to lose weight. I'm not saying don't try to lose weight, but it's the way that you do it, where people will crash diet and they'll maintain it for like a little while, maybe a few months, but they end up not being able to sustain it because it's not like a sustainable thing to do. Oftentimes, there's like over punishing in case you have a bad week. And then what ends up happening is that you gain weight again, but you kind of fuck up your metabolism. So it's one of the things where that's why a lot of people, and like myself included, I talk about how like you need to diet, but like the way that you should diet, you shouldn't focus on losing weight. You should focus on being healthy, eating healthier, and then you will lose weight. Because if your main focus is the weight loss, you know, you're probably gonna have like a fail moment, especially if you're somebody that cope eats, you know. Whereas if you eat better, you will lose weight, but it's like a little bit more sustainable. You're engaging in more sustainable lifestyle. So that is why people run that narrative more than anything else.
Determination alone was not enough after all these years. Gastric bypass surgery was now a real option since he saw it as the only chance to lose weight once and for all. But to undergo this kind of medical procedure, the patient must undergo a strict diet to lose a specific amount of body mass before the surgery.
Yeah, true. They want to make sure that you can diet afterwards, and at that point, you might as well just fucking diet. But it's crazy because my wife and I have been talking about it in general, and she's like, I was thinking about it, and like I personally am not. She was thinking about it, but you know, she has people who like there was an individual girl that we saw that got the surgery, and she looks like good for her. No offense to her, but she looks terrible. She lost a lot of weight, but it was so fast. Her hair, like, it just looks thin. She looks like a little bit decrepit in the face. And it seems like a lot of the reason why you lose the weight, I don't know, it's that people, like, that it just kind of fucks them up. You know, it's almost like you're giving yourself an eating disorder. And I understand why people might need to lose, you know, the surgery. I get it. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem particularly fun. It seems almost kind of fucking miserable. Just fucking miserable, man.
The main purpose of this is to reduce body fat in the abdominal region, especially in and around the liver, and this is what Boogie committed to doing to finally defeat his demon. Until then, Boogie was still growing his business, gaining even more connections.
Elon Want Attention super chatted $1.99.
Elon
Hope you had a happy holiday. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, brother. This is the second time you donated. I didn't even realize your name was fucking Elon Wants Attention. Happy New Year, my man.
And even winning the Trending Gamer Award at the 2016's VGAs. Although I'm not sure how you would see this as a success, since VGA is pretty much just a collection of horrible jokes, the biggest joke of them all being the show itself.
Hydrobot at it again. Enjoy the rest of the Game Awards, everyone. We gotta go. Hydrobot is gonna school me on how to protect my skin from irritation.
I fucking love that. What is this? That's hilarious.
Well, that right there is why we do the show, folks.
Picture this, I'm a bag of dicks, put me to your lip. I am sick, I will punch a baby bear, take a shit, little.
Nevertheless, and
wow, that was incredible. What's happening? This is my favorite place in the world. It's like a horrible Adult Swim show. I love it.
any positive feedback is always greatly appreciated if you ask me. On top of that, as we reach 2017, Boogie's channel has reached a mind-boggling 4 million subscribers. Unfortunately, the streak of good fortune would not last long, because another controversy would soon rear its head. Boogie would be on an anti-bullying panel with our old friend Anita Sarkeesian at VidCon that same year. After a long session, Boogie would end the panel with his closing speech.
I practiced this one for weeks, okay. I think sometimes because we do talk about certain subsets of people, specifically people without privilege, some people can get the misconception that only those groups are targeted. And I say this as the only male on this panel, and I say this as a white cis male, a person who's in a place of privilege, that I understand that some communities have it worse. And I don't say this to dismiss anyone else's pain, or to say that I have it worse, because I genuinely don't believe that I do. I just want to say that if it can happen to me, and I'm coming from a place of privilege, I think this can happen to anybody. It can happen to any of you who choose to create tomorrow. And I think when we get that misconception, I think that we have naysayers. Well, it's not worse for women. It's not worse for people of color. I think when we focus it on a human rights issue, not a woman's issue, not a man's issue, not a gay or straight issue, or a fat person or skinny person's issue, but it's a human rights issue that affects us all, at least in some way. I feel we can unite these subsets and these groups and these different people, and I think we can fight it together. And when we do that, I think that's how we actually could potentially end cyberbullying. But we have to end, I think, this squabble between each group before we can do that. And that's, I don't know.
Oh, that was actually fucking based. That was a pretty good speech. Basically, all he's saying is that, like, it's a little wordy, but he's basically saying that, like, shit like this can happen. What the? That scared the hell out of me. Jesus. He's basically saying that the bullying can happen to anybody, even if there are groups that are disproportionate and they struggle more. It can happen to anybody, and we should look at it less as like an identity politics issue, more as like a human issue. It was a pretty good speech. I actually appreciate that. It's pretty solid. It's pretty intelligent. Why was this a bad moment, though? The author made it seem like this was a bad moment.
For some reason, this speech agitated Anita to the point where she confronted Boogie right after the event.
Oh my god, you fucking bitch. That's a great speech. It's a unifying speech. And this is the thing, is that speech speaks to people who don't agree with Sharkeesian. By the way, I'm pretty sure Boogie has it worse than anyone on that panel. I don't know any of those other people, but I mean, holy fuck, this guy has a horrible life. God bless him. Truly mean that. Of course, because he didn't fucking jerk off enough women in that one. But that's a really good message, and that's gonna get people who don't like agree with Anita Sarkeesian to get on board. Like, this is the thing when it comes to like any, like, there's always, bro, listen, there's two groups of people when it comes to advocacy, right? There's the people who agree with the advocacy and the people who don't, right? It's very basic. So if you're advocating for women, let's say in this instance, there are things that you'll be able to say to get people to go like, oh, that makes sense to me. And they'll be like, I understand the women's issue, blah, 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 right? Then there's people who just don't get it because they don't understand the perspective of women, which makes sense because they may not be women, right? And so you have to qualify a lot of different things to get there. And this was like a really good thing. This was a really good thing. This was a really good way to communicate to people who don't agree, like to break that barrier and get them to go like, oh, that actually makes sense, Boogie. You're right. It could affect us all. We could all struggle. Because what I heard was like, you could struggle even if you're a man or even if you're white. You could still struggle. But maybe not because you're a man or because you're white. You know, I was like, okay, I respect that. What the fuck? And then she had a meltdown on that? What a fucking asshole.
Throw a finger in his face and give him a piece of her mind. His reaction to this situation and the video he made garnered a lot more hatred than you would think. Boogie's audience lost respect for him as a result for his indifference to Anita, who attacked him first, and his failure to defend himself in any real manner.
A couple of more panelists had their closing arguments, and then we left the stage, and I'm shaking, very, very nervous, but I felt like it went well, and when I get off of the stage at the bottom of the panels, there's Anita, and she seemed to be very, very upset. And I don't remember exactly what she said, I'm paraphrasing here, but she said in a very upset that I think it was very fucking uncool that you said what you said there at the end, knowing that no one else would have enough time to respond. And I bet you can imagine how that affected my anxiety, because the exact focal point of my anxiety for the entire weekend, in fact, for the last 6 weeks, the nightmare scenario that I was terrified of actually had come true. I'd upset somebody who I very, very much had tried to not upset and did not want to upset.
This backlash did shake him.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why, like, so they're upset that he didn't respond more to her. I think that Boogie just struggles with anxiety in general, so he just like struggles to defend himself against shit. But like, what would be the motivation? Why would, like, what is he gonna, you know, like, what would people expect him to say? I wonder. So I can see why he didn't respond. It's like a professional setting. It's somebody that he was on a panel with. He doesn't want to like rock tensions. You know, he just said what he said. He's coming from the perspective of like, okay, you know, if he flipped completely on what he said, I'd be like, yeah, that's like fucking pathetic. But if he's just like, yeah, I didn't respond, like, that makes sense to me. Why exacerbate potential tensions? You know what I mean?
Him up a bit, but
hey,
he
what's
had
up?
other worries to think about, primarily his gastric bypass surgery, which was quickly approaching. Not to mention that a procedure like this should be taken very seriously, since it could go wrong in many ways, and in some cases it can even lead to death. However, the surgery was a success, and Boogie's stomach was reduced to the size of an egg. The topic around gastric bypass would be the main theme of his videos at the time, because this was a very interesting subject that many people were unaware of, while Boogie was able to tell his story on the matter from his first-hand experience.
So, like, an egg. So how would you eat if it's stretched down to like the size of an egg? Then I feel like you really can't eat unless it's one of those sex toy eggs, because those are stretchy. So then you can put plenty of food in there. So is that what it was? Is that the kind of egg, or am I just overthinking this as being a weirdo right now? I think I'm just being weird. Okay. Hey. It is what it is.
However, his YouTube channel would show the first real signs of a serious problem that was about to arise. Adpocalypse was in full swing in 2017, which meant that YouTube was demonetizing many videos that they deemed inappropriate at the time. Unfortunately for Boogie, all of his content involving Francis would be demonetized, and the same would apply for all the future videos in this format. The main reason why was because of the extensive swearing and violence displayed in these videos, something that was no longer welcome on the new YouTube. As you might guess,
all because there was a Burger King ad on a really inappropriate song on YouTube called Alabama Friend. Incredible. Fucking incredible, dude.
The Francis skits primarily revolved around him being loud and distractive for audience's amusement, so if you take that away, there is nothing left. Essentially, Boogie's most profitable content was no longer profitable, which would have a significant impact on his financial situation in the future.
How long did it last? Because I wasn't like around on YouTube then. I was working a real job, you losers. By the way, you know what's really interesting? I know this is like a little bizarre, but so basically they saw some content that they made, the advertisers, excuse me, saw some content that they may not want to be associated with, and they like pulled their advertisement, which makes perfect sense. And then YouTube struggled to kind of like get back, which they did. They put a significant amount of work into getting themselves in a place where they can monetize content again, you know. And they're actually pretty loose with the content. I remember somewhat recently, maybe the end of last year, maybe this year, I don't remember. They mentioned that, hey, we're going to soften some of the guideline violation stuff on our videos, because like they were getting back into a comfortable space and they were figuring out how to deal with the problem. So I can applaud YouTube for doing their best to figure it out, because advertisers can leave at a whim. It's their money. The reason I bring this up is because apparently so once Elon Musk implemented Twitter Blue, advertisers started fleeing in droves, and it was during the holiday season, which is the time where they spend the most money. So that was supposed to be Twitter's like biggest period. And apparently Elon Musk said like, oh, they can do that? Like, I should be able to sue them. Like, he's so fucking dumb that he thinks that you can sue because advertisers are pulling out of their brand. Like, how fucking stupid is this guy? I mean, it's incredible. I just felt the need to say that because he's a fucking moron. And I needed to say it because he's that's so dumb. And so that's why Twitter is fucking doomed. Elon Musk is clearly a moron. He's not a very good businessman. He has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He's a deluded fucking idiot. And yeah, I mean, he doesn't care about anything that he says. Like, that's crazy. He just sounds like a guy with a lot of money that buys things. And people are like, wow, he created the thing. It's like, yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Incredible stuff. It's just a fucking story.
All of this happened while he was still recovering from the surgery. However, it still wasn't the worst thing to occur.
I'm invincible, bitch.
In the beginning of 2017, sometime before the surgery happened, Boogie would turn up a stream for his audience, a stream that is considered by many to be the beginning of the real downfall for Boogie2988 and his career, because things are only going to get worse from here. At first, everything seemed quite normal. Boogie was chatting with his audience and occasionally inserting a karaoke session. That is, until the 30-minute mark, when Boogie started to open up about things that absolutely should have stayed behind closed doors at the time. Meaning he opened the floodgates way too early, exposing some very private information about him and his wife without thinking about the repercussions.
I'm gonna try to put it in the nicest way I can too, okay? Because it's very important that I do. But I want you guys to know the truth, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat it too much, okay? You guys remember about 5 months back, I made a stream. I was doing a stream, and I got a phone call in the middle of the stream, and it was my wife calling, and she wanted to talk to me, so we talked. And she said that she was really frustrated with the process of the surgery and frustrated with all the other things that she was having trouble with.
Was he drunk?
And we were going to take a break after the surgery. But we hit the 4-month mark, and when we hit the 4-month mark, my wife at the 3-month mark, my wife went out of town for a week to go spend a little time with family, and she enjoyed her time there. But it was hard for us because I wasn't really ready to take care of myself. My doctor even advised against me being left alone. But my roommate took the week off to help me out, and she spent 5 days up with her mom and her cousin.
Okay.
And then she came home and she said, Steve,
Which I can understand, like, even if that's, like, her responsibility, it could be overwhelming. It's difficult to take care of somebody so much. So So I get that. I can understand where she's coming from.
I want to go back home for a while. And I said,
nice to
okay.
you too.
And she goes, I really feel like I need to find myself. I really feel like I need a few weeks away from the marriage to find myself and figure out who I am and what I want to do. So are you still coming home? And she says, yes, I'll be home.
That's what she said? Is that what she said? That's what she said. Am I right?
And then she came home. And my roommate took the week off. Steve, I want to go back home for a while.
Okay, that's what she said.
And I find myself and figure out who I am and what I want to do. So are you still coming home? And she says, yes, I'll be home. And it may not be on the 2nd, but it'll be real close to then.
Okay.
And I'll be there for the Christmas party on the 18th.
Crimbus.
And we'll do Christmas together. But then I'm going to want to go home for some more.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay, I understand that.
Damn.
You know,
I'm back, guys. For fucking die because you know how to fucking play.
I personally think, based on what she's saying and how she's saying it, that there's no end to the amount of time she's wanting to spend up there.
If you are not sure what is going on.
So, yeah, no, it sounds like they're moving towards a divorce. What I find interesting is the narrator said, why would you pull 2 out? You fucking dumb piece of shit asshole. Sorry. The narrator said that, like, he overshared, basically. But that's all Boogie does. And, you know, that's what he does. I understand why he would do it. He should have taken that to himself. It's hard because I can imagine Boogie didn't really have, you know, anyone else to talk to. And that's the risky part when you have one individual in your support system. You know, my wife is a very, you know, prominent individual in my support system, but, like, you know, we could talk to other people if we needed to about stuff. But that's the rough part. And then, like, so now for Boogie, his support system is his wife for when it comes to venting and his audience. Why did this fucking moron release? Oh my God, what an idiot. And so now I hope nobody that I play with watches these, like this random pug, because I'm fucking so pissed. It's a timed key. This guy releases like an idiot. There's a walk all the way back. Have you seen this shit? Anyway. And so now he talks to them. That's like par for the course. Is that the right way to say it? That's part of what he does. So I'm not surprised he did this. I mean, but this is the problem in general of like venting too much. I mean, I can understand talking about like your struggles growing up and shit, but I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I've never struggled like that. You know, one time I took a poop that was sharp, so I basically struggled as much as Boogie, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Here is a summary. His wife, Des, went to her hometown for a week to spend some time with the family. After that week had passed, she told Boogie that she wanted to stay even longer because, in her own words, she needed some time away from the marriage. Basically, she was admitting to some marital problems that the audience wasn't aware of until that point in time. Naturally, the first thing that comes to mind is the possible end of the marriage, since wanting to spend the time separated is usually the first sign of that exact same thing. Wanting to end such rumors, Boogie, in his infinite wisdom, decided to reveal even more personal stuff about him and his wife on that exact same stream, which wasn't met with the enthusiasm he probably expected.
I'm one of the only men that she has ever really been attracted to. Because my wife has never been comfortable around other men. And she's not always comfortable around me. My wife tells me she loves me today as much as she's ever loved me, and I believe her.
Oh, that's so sad.
We're great together, but sometimes we're not. And right now, she needs to do other shit, and that's okay. And if she decides a month from now she wants to come back, or 6 months from now she wants to come back, I'll make it work.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. Do you really think that she actually loves you more than, like, never been attracted to anybody? I don't know. Not because he's, like, fat or anything. I'm just like, that's a surprising thing to hear in general. Only man ever been attracted to. Does she actually, like, attract the women or something? Like, why would that? I'm just curious. Like, what does that mean? Or is that, like, a little cope? I don't know.
You know, I'll do whatever needs doing because I love her in a way that I put her in front of me.
That's
nice.
It's
the right thing to do, and I'm always going to do the right thing.
Okay.
But the reason it's the right thing to do is that woman saved my life.
If you have decided to read the comments on that video, you can get a good idea of how angry people were with Boogie. This disaster was met by yet another stream in which Boogie revealed that his wife wanted to stay separate for even more time. And again, instead of letting the dust to settle and talking things out, he thought it would be better to have an emotional episode in front of the camera.
Yeah, so like this is something I should have considered more than anything else. If we remove the audience from this is probably super stressful for his ex-wife at this point. Venting like this heavily. First of all, I could potentially see her going like, this feels like a manipulation tactic to kind of like garner sympathy for a Boogie, make me look bad in front of a bunch of people, which I'm not saying that is what happened, but like, you know, from an, I guess an optics perspective, it kind of looks like that, or could look like that to her. More than anything else, though, it puts like a weird pressure on your relationship, and it's like, you know, maybe she would have been able to get through it, but she needed some time, and he kind of just, let me put this on the internet. I'm not saying he did it maliciously. It's possible. What I'm saying is that like that's just a boundary crosser for a lot of people, and you know it's difficult it can be very difficult to deal with fame, and it can be very difficult for the person who's not famous that's with the famous person to deal with the fame as well, because you're going to have different perspectives on different things, and it could potentially cause you guys to fight in different ways, and you know, that's a huge problem as well. Especially, you know, if you have like an issue and you're venting your stress, but then it's like, what is this issue? I don't know. It's a lot of complicated shit. But definitely made the wrong move there, brother. Venting all this shit to people. I get it, but then also like, fuck, man.
What I mean by this is that Boogie had another stream, this one dedicated to the looming divorce.
Me and my wife have talked about it, and we have decided that we will, I think we're looking into separating after the surgery.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think divorce is what's going to happen.
So, like, when he decided to get divorced, or when that happened, I understand him making a video about that. It's a pretty significant life change. But, I mean, fuck, man, what are you doing? This is not smart. You're just kind of fucking going all in with everything that's going on in your life. It's not a good idea, bro. I mean, holy shit. You're going to give a little bit of privacy. I wonder how much that impacted her decision, you know? You're just fucking Christ.
Happen, and I don't think we're going to get divorced. I think we're going to separate for a little while to get a little bit of space.
Boogie listened to sad music, cried on camera, and even watched his proposal video.
Same. Oh, come on. What are you doing, bro? Get a friend. Holy fuck, this is so sad. I feel so bad, but at the same time, it's like a fucking train wreck.
You need a support system, though, after surgery? Well, that's going to be you. That's going to have to be you.
Oh, my God. Holy fuck. I'm sorry.
Open my eyes,
no.
I try to see, but I'm blinded by the white lines.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to laugh. This is terrible.
I'm lying here tonight.
Bro, no, he didn't do this.
Stand the pain. As your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. You and me have seen everything to see, from Bangkok to Calgary, and the soles of your shoes.
Depressing is the only word that...
So first of all, that may be DMCA'd. So, well, God damn it, I forgot about that part. Second of all, bro, what are you doing, man? You can't be doing that. You can't be trauma dumping like that, brother. Oh no, it's so sad because he's probably going through something real there, and I just can't help but be like, what the fuck, man? That's horrible. Oh, my Lord. Why is she bringing it further and further away from the fucking boss so that I can't cleave? Like, are you stupid? You stupid idiot? Holy fuck. Moron. Sorry. Dude, I'm shredding DPS. Holy fuck. This paladin, that's other paladin is doing is fucking 20 islands on me, and you can't fucking DPS me. It's incredible. I'm truly the greatest World of Warcraft player ever.
That comes to mind while watching this downward spiral. Boogie was hoping that Des would eventually come back and that this was just a temporary solution for the marriage problems that they were facing. However, soon after, he would announce that the divorce would indeed be happening. But Des offered to stay with Boogie until the surgery and sometime after that, to help with the recovery to a point where he would be able to take care of himself. Amazingly enough, they did stay in touch after the divorce, with Boogie even citing that they were still friends. He even called her live on stream sometime later on his birthday, and his viewers were treated to what I can only describe as the strangest 5 minutes I have ever experienced.
What do you want?
Hey, it's good to hear your voice. It's been a couple days. How are you doing?
I'm alright. Can't complain too much.
I made it to 45. What do you think about that?
It's impressive.
Yeah, I didn't think I would. It's VidCon is weird without you. It really is, because like we're all these very familiar places, right? And like going to Disney without you, I've been like 5 times now. It's just so weird. Just it's your go.
What are you going to Disney alone for? What the fuck? I go with my wife. I don't like Disney. I go for her. I love Disney. Just kidding. Don't smite me, Disney gods. My wife loves Disney, bro. It's crazy. We're Disney adults a little bit, and I'm fine with it. You can fucking, it's your cringe. Good. All right, when's the last time you went to Disney, bitch? That's right. Don't talk your shit, brother. You don't even go to Disney. You stink. Fuck you. My wife's birthday soon. You know what I got for her? I got her a bag exclusive to Disney. I'm gonna fuck it. It's gonna happen again. I'm gonna cry. Holy fuck! Sorry, almost got sucked in. I got a Disney exclusive bag. We paid a Disney shopper, to get the bag for her. It sounds weird, but it actually is. It's kind of cool. So you pay somebody that has like a park pass to go in and buy like a Disney exclusive item for you, and then it's fucking weird, right? But hey, whatever works. That's all I have to say. It's fucking cool. So that's pretty much it. Dude, stop inhaling me. Stop inhaling me. Fucking god damn it. So annoying.
Ghost haunts me there. It's kind of nice though. I haven't been to Eureka Springs in forever. Because people don't know this, but that's where we got engaged.
Yeah, it is.
All of the YouTube videos are still up. You know, our wedding YouTube video is still up and everything. Because I don't see a point in deleting it. People have asked me like, why I don't delete it, but I'm like, what's the best day of my life? I love that day. Why would I?
Why is he's real? This is like a cope conversation. Why is he doing this on blast? And it sounds like she didn't even know about it. So this is like a lot. Yeah, man, he needed a friend. He needed a, you got it. Who's that guy? Dude, if I walk up here and die, I'm going to actually shit all over myself. Holy fucking garbanzo beans right now. I'm gonna shit. Wait, hold on, I can do this. Oh, I'm so intelligent. But yeah, this is probably a conversation to have, with somebody else. Wow, incredible. This healer is just not releasing, even though the walk is 4 feet. Shit myself.
Delete that, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, jeez, what a day.
Somebody says this woman is hilarious. Music is more than... Yeah, why do you think I married this woman? Of course, she's hysterical. She's far funnier than I ever was. Why do you think the Francis videos haven't been good since we separated?
What her head would look like on a stick.
Boogie would unfortunately leave 2017 as a divorced man, and as I said earlier, things only got worse from here, as the problems with YouTube and his degrading mental state would soon take their toll.
Alright. You got a friend in me.
Boogie's behavior became stranger by the day from then on. What I mean by that is that the kind and gentle...
Listen, I have to complain right now. This fucking warrior just said, oh, that last pack is the hardest pull in the entire dungeon. And he's like, I guess you have to CC. Bro, warriors have so much fucking crowd control. Literally, use your crowd control. Oh, I guess we had crowd control. You have a 5-second stun, you stupid inept fuck. How are you going to tell us, oh, I guess we had to do some crowd control? You do it, dude. Come on, dude. This game has been out for fucking 20 years. And I can't flame these guys, because if an item drops that they don't need and I want, then I gotta be like, oh, can I please? Good run, guys. GG, can I have that item? Sorry.
Person we saw in videos started to feel like an act. Boogie even admitted that he does play a character for the camera and that it might not represent who he actually is. It was extremely strange to hear something...
Did he say that? Like, in what capacity? Oh my god, he's going...
like this come from Boogie, since his personality is the main reason why people stick around his channel. The true difference between YouTube Boogie and the real Boogie would be revealed during his live streams, where his persona began to crack, exposing someone buried deep inside. Someone who was, perhaps, always there, but was good at keeping it hidden.
Do you guys want to see what I can do?
No.
Why do I have 2 beds? One for me and one for my hooker.
Got him! Oh my god.
Is there people out there, little assholes, little douchebags, little dickheads, little cunts, little shit faces, little fucking whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Why are we running back here? Oh, this is so
fucking
dumb.
Little pricks, little fucking ball sacks, little scrotal-faced pieces of shit.
It wasn't just the indecent comments or the attitude that was jaw-dropping.
Sounds like kind of a joke there, but hey, listen. Get your bag, Boogie. Or fuck some bitches, or whatever I was trying to say. You know what I meant. Do your thing, brother. Jesus Christ. Jesus Lord.
To anyone who watched Boogie on YouTube. It was also his interactions with other people, like the time he tried to crack a joke at a guy whose parents got divorced.
Switch me out, bro.
Right, are your parents still alive by chance?
Yeah.
And are your parents still together?
No.
Okay, all right. So maybe I should take point then.
What?
Well, if your parents aren't together, then you probably come from a broken home. You're probably gonna get real angry when you start losing. So.
I won last game, but.
Or his response to Ellen from.
Holy fuck, that's so based. What do you mean? Why do people get angry at that? That's so funny. That's fucking like the lightest trash talk I've ever heard in my entire life. It was fucking hilarious. Oh my god. What a meanie head. That's fucking funny. Don't you dare do anything to me. That's funny, bro. Look at the damage on this paladin, twice my fucking item level. Or like 20 points on me. Incredible.
From Everyday Them Fitness, a fellow YouTuber who made a video about Boogie's state, after raising his weight, where he pointed out that he was not putting in the necessary effort to lose it. This made Alan believe that Boogie did a gastric bypass surgery simply as a shortcut.
I pretty much said that he was getting gastric bypass surgery as a quick fix, that it was like, it was basically the equivalent to a...
Sorry, hold on.
Bypass surgery simply as a shortcut.
I pretty much said that he was getting gastric bypass surgery as a quick fix, that it was like, it was basically the equivalent to a addict cutting their thumbs off so they couldn't push a plunger in, you know. that he is a serious food addict. At one point in time, he weighed close to, I think, 600 pounds.
Well, yeah, he probably is. What's his point?
He was a very big man. He addicted to food. Many videos of him just guzzling, sodas and eating huge pizzas.
Love cum.
Addicted to food, like truly addicted to bad food.
He also commented on Boogie's mental state, exposing some of the disturbing things he said on his live streams. Boogie's initial response was atrocious, to say the least. He essentially attacked a guy who genuinely wanted to help him and accused him of using his name for clicks. He also
So, like, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. That guy, fuck that guy, and like, God bless him, because he probably was trying to give advice. And I, old men do that all the time. They try to give advice when it's not wanted. I do the same thing. Cool shield. But let's say even if his intentions were well intentioned, who cares? Like, Boogie has every right to be like, dude, fuck this guy, because like, who the fuck are you to give this guy advice? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would take it. Even if I get it, even if like, you know what I mean? Like, we could understand that the one guy, the bald guy, was trying to be nice, while also understanding that like, Boogie has every right to have the reaction of like, it's not your fucking place, shut up. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand where he's coming from. You know, I don't take yeah. I get why Boogie had his reaction. Why he's allowed to have that reaction.
Also mentioned this on H3H3 podcast, where he opened the floodgates for his large fan base to attack Everyday Damn Fitness by lying.
They turned it into, oh, he's encouraging people to stay fat and he's going to die in the next year and all this stuff, right?
I challenge each and every one of you to look above, below, and at the end at the video that I made about Boogie2988. I challenge each and every one of you. I really do. I challenge each and every one of you to find where I said anything like that.
And while they did make amends later,
people to stay fat and he's going to die in the next year and all this stuff, right?
I'm not even going to watch the video. Okay.
Like that.
And while they did make amends later, it just showed that Boogie was losing his grip on social aspects, which was evident in his interactions with others. Another way
I mean, that guy might have said that to some extent. I don't know. I didn't see that. I'm not going to watch the full video, but you know.
He demonstrated his mental
Boogie just doesn't really know how to he doesn't know how to deal with controversy. I think is his biggest issue.
Instability was through a series of extremely strange videos at the time, the most disturbing of which was Boogie/Francis losing his mind. In the said video, Boogie was filmed in a room that has the words "I am a psychopath" written all over the walls, while in the meantime talking to himself and pretending that he is addressing his made-up character Francis as if he were a real person.
What the fuck is that? Is that a real thing? What the hell?
Later on, he brings in the effigy of his ex-wife to deliver a monologue that I can only describe as a cry for help.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Francis. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
Video.
I don't think Boogie's doing so good. Shut up!
This is ridiculous. How much of this is a manic episode, and how much of this is a performative manic episode? You know what I mean? Like, is he cosplaying as somebody that's fucking deranged? You know what I'm saying, dude?
I don't need you here. I disagree. I disagree. I think you assaulted his mother about 10 minutes ago. Things are getting a little out of hand. It's just a prank. It's just a prank. What kind of prank is this? What kind of prank is this? Okay, read the writing on the wall. All right, but for now, you're gonna have to trust me. I don't trust you, dude. I've never trusted you. You are the most untrustworthy person on the planet. Do you understand that? You're an actual sociopath. You're an actual psychopath. You are the reason she left, okay? And you know that. Yeah, Boogie, I'm why she left. I'm also the only reason you found her to begin with, okay? Okay, you win.
That's McJuggerNugget's house and entirely as a character video. Oh, interesting.
You're in charge. You're not supposed to eat it, idiot. That's for later. Okay, okay. How do I know I can trust you? You don't have to trust me, buddy, okay? I got a friend you can talk to. Well, look right there. She's here.
How much? This is ridiculous. How much money do you think Boogie has paid prostitutes just to talk to them for like hours? You know what I mean? Wow, this is a fucking holy fuck! What an upgrade! Jesus Christ! Look at this fucking thing, dude. Holy fuck! I had a 343 to a fucking 411. Oh, I'm coming. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I know you don't like being on camera.
I just gotta look up what I should enchant this with, because that's fucking incredible.
How have you been? Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to know you're happy. I miss her too.
I'm sorry. This is terrible. This reminds me of Al Snow from like the WWE. Do you guys remember that? He had a whole little thing. And then there was Percy. I don't know if people remember Percy. He was a big muscular guy. Apparently they gave him like a mop because he pissed somebody off, so they made him do like moppy or some dumb shit. The more you know. The more you know.
Tired of hearing it, but
that is good acting. I wonder why they didn't make him like a character. Like he could have been like an actor. They could have made him like Hodor or something. Game of Thrones. Remember when Game of Thrones was fucking good? Incredible.
I'm really sorry.
He's the type of person who talks to telemarketers for 15 minutes. Dude, I don't know why that made me. That's funny. That's just dumb funny. Holy, maybe. I don't know. What am I fucking...
Maybe these were the real signs of a broken mind that Boogie was forced to live with. His mental instability wasn't the only thing on display, as his professional interests were also questioned while he was interviewing his friend, the kid behind the camera. This video was despised by basically everyone on the sole basis of how manipulative it is. If you are unfamiliar with the situation, here is a quick recap. Kid behind the camera used to be a popular YouTuber known for his Angry Grandpa show. His real name is Michael, and he had some real accusations rolling in on him when the clear...
Yeah, I heard about that. I've heard people criticize it. Should I watch that? Does he still have it available? Like, out of curiosity, should I watch it?
Signs of physical abuse towards his children were shown on camera for YouTube views. In this interview, Boogie asked a lot...
Yeah, I mean, that was the time where everybody was doing, like, prank shit. And I think Daddy of 5 was, like, the absolute worst. I watched the kid behind the camera stuff. Well, not great. I wouldn't call him, like, intentionally abusive. I think that's one of the huge issues when you mix views with things, like in pranks and stuff. It just gets really fucked really fast. Damn, this thing is awesome. Holy fuck. I'm gonna pump her. Oh.
Probably easy questions without really getting into the meat of the problem, which was the serious concern of...
Oh my god, I didn't know you streamed on YouTube. You should say it in your YouTube videos a lot. Well, my YouTube videos are... they're segments from my stream, my brother. And if you look at the description of every one of them, like one of the first things it says is like watch that, or one of the things in there is just like the full stream. So, yeah. But no, I don't really tell people. I mean, I'm like, you know, I'm more of the video guy, but yeah. You know, it's from that. I figured people would realize that it was a live stream, no? But okay. Anyway, nice to have you here.
Child abuse. Rather, he almost always agreed with Michael and sometimes even answered the questions for him, all while ignoring the real issue and giving Michael all the praise he needed.
Michael, are you abusive, man? Are you abusive to these kids?
Well, first, I wasn't abused as a kid.
Oh, that's right.
I was.
Yeah, you were saying.
I was the golden child.
And you said you had hardly anything saved.
I still have hardly.
This is like this comes off as performative. That's the weirdest part about this. Like whatever, how the way that they're talking just comes off as like we have a narrative to push. I could be wrong. It just it comes off like that a little bit. Okay.
Because we were talking, you had a video saying you were like going broke. Yeah. And I called you up and I'm like, Michael, is this real? And you're like, yeah, dude, I have barely anything saved. Tell them why that is. Tell them why.
I mean, I take care of everybody in my family. When Dad was alive, I was paying all of his bills. Bro. Not to mention, he gets half of the YouTube money.
And a lot of people will say, if that's what he thinks is appropriate to show for the video, what is he not showing? I mean, do you guys fight off camera? Is it?
I mean, that's possible, or it's possible that they're sensationalizing for the camera. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that the mentality that they're coming with, but you know what I mean.
First, when have you ever?
Mama gets good. It's her birthday soon.
Never. Dad raised me that a man who puts his hands on a woman isn't a man at all.
Are you a woman? Wait, I'm confused.
Never.
I mean, do you guys fight off camera? Is it?
Oh, like his wife.
First, when have you ever hit Richard?
Never. Dad raised me that a man.
Love from India. Ah, thanks, brother or sister. Or this dude. I appreciate that. I respect that.
Hands on a woman isn't a man at all.
True.
Many people thought that the main reason...
Never put a hands on a woman, but you definitely want to put that hand in that woman. Gotta stretch her out. Okay, inappropriate. Try not to be too... Yeah, I have a brother. Do I have a brother? There's literally, you see two of my brothers on the fucking screen. You're going to ask me a ridiculous question. Do I have a fucking brother? Papa, do you have a brother? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. What do you think? Right here. My brother's right here, dude. What the fuck? Come on.
The reason why Boogie acted like this was because Michael and him have been friends for a long time, and YouTube connections are a valuable asset in this business. So when another YouTuber called Daddy05 was accused of practically...
Bro, this guy's a real scumbag.
...the same thing, which is...
I would say not practically the same thing. That Daddy of 5 shit is fucking... it's like unique in the worst way. Like that shit is abusive. Like there's nothing... Like they went to this like fucking degree of like massive gaslighting to the point of like actual horrible mental trauma, and it felt so intentional. I watched that shit. Like I watched the videos about it; those are fucked. When it comes to this other guy, the kid behind the camera, you definitely worth criticizing. I don't think it was like intentional. I think that's again what happens when you mix like money and views and shit like that, and you end up getting a little too sensationalized and going a little too far. I get that, but I mean, this fucking Daddy of 5 guy. I mean, that's somebody who like. With the kid behind the camera, it seemed like, hey, let's prank as a joke. The Daddy of 5 thing is like, oh, we already exhibit this behavior of fucking berating our children. Let's make it seem funny. You know what I mean? That's where it really comes from.
is abusing his children, Boogie was much more vocal in condemning their actions both on Twitter and YouTube. So it is easy to notice the hypocrisy when he didn't give the same amount of criticism to his friend who was in a similar position. While the video at first was...
Did he like reference that and like say basically what I said? Because he definitely has a strong argument there. This video does come off as like bizarrely performative, though. But yeah.
Masterfully criticized, viewers also pointed out a real issue in the YouTube community, that is how fellow YouTubers are willing to cover for each other even in the face of the most heinous accusations in order to keep the support structure intact. It seemed that no one was safe from this conduct, not even Boogie2988. It is entirely subjective to believe that this was the reason for Boogie's behavior or if it was simply his inability to get confrontational. Nevertheless, it was still one of the factors which...
Well, he does seem to struggle to get confrontational, I'll tell you that much. That's the funny part.
...caused him to get a significant amount of hate. He also started to get extremely defensive about his weight.
I wasn't able to continue my clean eating, man. I'm really sorry about that. I guess it was very important to you, and I'm sorry that it was, but yeah, since I was traveling, I wasn't able to keep it up, man. I got back home, and I've been doing it ever since I got back home, but you're right. I didn't do it while I was traveling. That's a real shame, man. And I'm really sorry I wasn't able to.
6 months after his surgery, he had lost approximately 50 kilograms. However, that was the...
Bro, you gotta stop using these fucking weird numbers, okay? You gotta use American numbers. What the fuck is a kilogram, bro? Come on. What is it, 2.2 pounds?
Usual weight loss for people who had undergone this kind of surgery, primarily because it stopped them from eating more, and after that point, Boogie needed to put in actual effort if he wanted to lose even more. Even though he stated otherwise, he did not put forth the necessary effort. He constantly assured his audience that he was doing the proper diet without cheating, but...
Listen, there's like different types of weight loss surgeries. I wonder if he was doing... Jesus, fucking jump scare.
That was soon proven to be a lie. Mostly because, at his size, he should have been losing weight at a massive rate, but he didn't.
Okay, let's go back. Sorry. Anyway, Jesus. Not that I look much better with my shirt off. Fuck. I wonder if it's the one that like, your stomach could like stretch out again or whatever, and then like pretty much undoes all your all of your surgery shit. That's just fucked. That's why I feel like it's not like the best way to go, because you're not dealing with like your food addiction. Like that's what you have to really deal with.
Surgery, 540 pounds to 360. I still got a lot of weight to go, though. I did reach my target weight from the surgery in that first year and a half, in that first 18 months. I need to lose an additional 100 pounds. So I'm pretty far off target so far.
Also, some pictures surfaced of Boogie from events showing him lying about his eating habits. He made his weight loss journey public, but got mad when people publicly criticized him for not committing to the task. Even more negative publicity followed with the controversy involving BetterHelp, an online platform that turned out to be a complete scam made to swindle people with mental problems out of their money that Boogie and a lot of other YouTubers to be a more weight loss journey public, but got mad when people publicly criticized him for not committing.
Sorry, I'm listening to the music in the background.
To the task. Even more negative publicity followed with the controversy.
Fuck, I did the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Just give me like a minute. Sorry. The fuck is that name taken? What? This is the game music. This is the music in this.
Involving BetterHelp, an online platform that turned out to be a complete scam made to swindle people with mental problems out of their money.
Oh, sorry. He's using like the fucking starting zone undead. He's using the undead starting zone music in his video. And I was like, what the fuck is that? It really threw me off. Sorry. I just had to I had to prove that to myself. That was fucking bizarre. Okay. Interesting.
money that Boogie and a lot of other YouTubers advertised and supported on their channels. The new
So bizarre.
started to convert a large number of his fans into haters, something that Boogie had a real problem with. Bad opinions had a negative effect on him for a long time, and now these opinions grew more each day.
He's totally using the sound, no?
To the point where a weird and disturbing pattern started to emerge in his videos. Boogie began to mention, both jokingly and seriously, the possibility of him killing himself.
I think, and this is my opinion, I think when the time comes, I'm gonna have no problem pulling the trigger, or like once I've fully given up hope. You know, once I've fully given up hope, was fully ready to go. Once the internet has forgotten about me, and
You couldn't hear the music? I turned it all the way up. What do you mean you couldn't hear the music? Shut up. You're a nerd.
you guys you don't need me anymore, and I'm not needed around anymore.
I think that's the first message you said that wasn't Destiny waiting room in my chat. So God bless you.
And if I haven't found a wife and I haven't had kids or something like that, and I haven't had the life that I wanted for myself, and I'm just miserable and alone, I don't think I'll have any problem pulling the trigger. Are you and Robin Williams related? No. Both of you share the last name? No. That was the.
I don't think he could hang himself though. Probably break whatever he's hanging himself from. Me too. Bro, I'd play WoW with Boogie, but he might suck at the game, and then I'd hate him. I'd start hating him. He'd be like, "Oh, let's play WoW together." Like, I don't play that nerd old school shit. Like, I get it. Oh, classic is easy. It's a joke. The difficulty comes in like getting gear. The difficulty in this game comes in actually playing the game on a difficult level. The game can be very difficult. Okay, so I'm just saying.
I have nothing in common with Robin Williams at all whatsoever. He's hilarious. I'm a piece of human garbage. So pretty different. I think the only thing we have in common is
the same music.
I'll probably kill myself, and also mental illness.
At the start, this type of behavior horrified his audience, which had no idea that Boogie was in a mental state where he could be capable of doing something like that. The possible result could have been due to the combination of divorce and the new infamy.
I can't stop hearing the undead fucking starting zone music. It's getting me.
Was so bad that someone even called a welfare check for Boogie, something that agitated him very much.
But anyway, I talked to them in DMs, and I told them what my plan is. My plan is as it is right now, and this is my first time talking about it publicly, but because I don't trust this person, because I've told them everything in DMs, and they decided to call in a welfare check on me that involved the cops showing up at my house, paramedics showing up at my house, the fire department coming into the house, in the middle of a date, by the way. Here's what I told him.
I mean, bro, it's kind of your fault, only because you continuously fucking tell everybody all your business. Of course. Of course something like this is going to happen, you know? So yeah, what did you expect?
Him that all of this shit is making me suicidal, and I didn't want to fucking kill myself. That I might kill myself in a month. I might kill myself when I take care of my other shit. But I don't want to fucking kill myself tonight. I want to do it on my terms. I want to do it on my time. But the shit that I'm dealing with is making me fucking suicidal. And I told my friend, I'm like, look, I'm alone right now. I can't be attacked right now. I can't do this shit right now. Please, I'm going to block you. I don't want to talk to you about it anymore. Just leave me alone. I don't want to fucking blow my brains out tonight. I just want to be left alone, man.
This stream generated a lot of hate.
Incredible.
Because Boogie got mad at people for trying to take care of him, and to most of them, it started to appear that Boogie was emotionally manipulating his audience so that...
No, I mean, I get why he's angry. I understand why he's angry. He's like, why would you do that? Like, blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time, it's like, why would you, like, you have to, this is what happens when you're constantly basically fucking trauma dumping to your audience. They're going to be like, what's going on? They're going to call on a fucking wellness check. Of course. I don't blame them. You know, like you're doing that. You keep telling people all your shit, bro. You know? I mean, at least he's venting, but...
They wouldn't abandon.
Hey, what's up?
Other of his videos showed a similar pattern of insincere behavior. As if all of that wasn't enough, another huge scandal was soon to arrive when on the H3H3 podcast, Boogie would reveal that he's dating a new, much younger girlfriend, a fact that piqued the interest of many people watching.
Why was there a scandal there? He can do what he wants as long as she's an adult. I mean, I think it's weirder, though, that Ethan will be very critical of some individuals who date younger girls, but then he, basically call them pedophiles. But, he won't, but he didn't criticize Boogie for it. And Boogie was like, well, why'd you he was like, oh, it's based back here. As long as they're adults. It's weird. It's immature, but
No, I think she was fine. She's a smart girl. She's a strong, powerful, smart girl. For her age, I just was shocked.
How old is she? How old is she? What's the age?
She will be able to legally drink soon.
Damn you dog, dude.
Unfortunately for Boogie, he wouldn't be laughing for long, since the person in question was soon discovered to be a cam girl named Lucy Fox that Boogie met on a sugar daddy website. On the said site,
hey, you know what? She's there. That's what she's there for.
He described himself as a people pleaser who liked to be pleased. As you might expect, on a sugar daddy website. On the said,
this guy named himself fucking Beaten and Bruised. What do you mean about why? I would name myself Big Chunker. I'd probably just put myself as Papa Gut up there if I was on a Sugar Baby website. I ain't even fucking at that point. But personally, not that into younger girls. Not really my thing. I like saggy milk jugs, and I like gray hair. You know.
That site, he described himself as a people pleaser who liked to be pleased. As you might expect, having Sugar Daddy website discovered was the last thing you wanted to happen when you have a reputation like Boogie, but somehow it got worse. Him and Lucy would break up eventually, which led
Who gives a fuck? I don't know. Why do people care that much?
Lucy to post a video on Reddit exposing him as being a liar and manipulator during their time of the relationship.
So I dated a YouTuber, and for his
Well, let me tell you something. This is why you can't date fucking immature women when you're an older guy, especially as a YouTuber, because I'm not trying to be an asshole, but immature people will fucking throw you under the goddamn bus the second that it's convenient for them. It's just a reality, and young people tend to be more immature. So, like, this is a little cautionary tale for Boogie. You know, you dated, I mean, and listen, he might have been like a real piece of shit, honestly. Or maybe he wasn't that bad and she's like exaggerated it because she gets like a sense of satisfaction at breaking up with him. Because, like, I don't know, I've had like less than stellar breakups a lot of the times with a lot of my exes. So, like, you know, I get it. Some people break up and they have really nice breakups. Like, I'm just not feeling it anymore. I don't know. Not me, personally. Like, I mean, even when it ends well, like fucking the next week, it's a fucking like fuck you shit show. You know what I mean? That's life, brother. That's life. So you got to be careful with this stuff, brother. I mean, that's the fucking problem, bro.
I'm just gonna call him Asshole. Okay, so Asshole.
Okay.
I met Asshole, and he was on a website. I'm not gonna say what kind of website, but you can probably figure it out.
Asshole.com.
And I, thought, oh, this must be a joke. Like, Asshole was nice at first,
okay,
as most assholes are. And
okay.
I thought, well, let's see how it goes. He seems like a nice guy. He was,
Bro, you were there looking for fucking a sugar daddy. Like, let's not play this game where you're like, I thought he was a nice guy. Bro, you thought he had money, motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here. It's a sugar baby website. That's what you're looking for. He's looking for somebody to pay to fucking love him. I mean, to an extent. So that's reality. You gotta fucking tone it down in the chat, Megan. Holy fuck. But that's the reality, bro. You know?
If you know what I do for a job, then I have to be at home in order to be on cam. Well,
I was about to say, what did she do? She's a cam girl. Okay.
I couldn't do that because it would turn into an argument every time I tried to leave.
Okay.
Why are you trying to leave me? I need somebody right now. Blah, 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 blah,
Okay.
He was like, why don't you just stay at home? Well, I'm not making any money at home right now because it's a slow season and I can't go anywhere because every time I try to leave your house, you scream and yell at me.
Wow.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
Here's $500 so you can go out to Los Angeles. You aren't, you're just fucking annoying and you just don't want to listen to me, blah, 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 blah.
All of this raised a...
Yeah, sounds bad. Don't care. Listen, I'm not trying to be fucking rude. Did you just leave him? You're just like, I don't like this guy. I'm leaving. I'm not trying to be rude, man, because even if that's true, he sounds like an asshole. Why didn't you just leave him? I don't know. Be a little stronger, guys. Just fucking leave him. If somebody's like being an asshole, just leave him. I mean, there's potential areas of like where they could threaten you if you leave, but most of the time it's not what happens. Just a manipulative asshole, and a lot of times people don't want to leave. Could have been a money incentive, could have been whatever. I just personally find it very cringe to release this type of information like publicly about like relationship breakups. Like, who, I don't really care. Like, it's just like, if he didn't fucking threaten you or anything, I just don't give a singular fuck, but who cares?
Serious questions about Boogie's previous marriage, with some people thinking that he was also abusive to his ex-wife, which was backed up by Boogie once mentioning that Dez signed an NDA before the
You're
divorce.
good, Megan. It's okay. They were like, I get it. I know you're just being a little goofy.
Something he later denied. True or not, you can see how people around Boogie started to talk about him in a way they never would before. It is good to keep in mind that at the beginning, all of these controversial events were mostly unknown to the majority of his fanbase, but after so many incidents, there was so much dirt on Boogie that it was just a matter of time before someone would blow a whistle, exposing the truth to everyone in a very public manner.
I feel like more than anything else, it's one of those things where I feel like online people overall try to break you sometimes, and you just gotta not. You really just gotta not, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know why, but that conversation with Lex Rubin and Ben Shapiro it was a really good conversation, because when Ben was talking about how he receives a lot of hate and he just does his best to disconnect from it by disconnecting from social media and just talking to a few close people that are aware of what he's talking about and confide in, that really resonated with me in a way where I was like, yeah, you know what, that makes sense. You know, you can't fucking give in to people's disproportionate shit, but you also have to make sure that you're being introspective enough to you know, learn from your potential mistakes, which you make a lot of. People make mistakes all the time. It just happens. So, you know, that's a big one. You know, you can't let people break you down.
The explosion would in fact come, and it was caused by a curious YouTuber named Christopher Tom with his video The Follow Boogie2988, Why He's Losing Subscribers. To say that this video would cause shockwaves would be putting it lightly. By far, it is still the most popular video on Tom's channel, sitting at almost 4 million views today. In this video, Tom exposed all of the dirty laundry of Boogie2988 with no filter. It included everything I said earlier and much, much more. Things like Boogie laughing at his friend that died of cancer.
Oh, you had to go through that, right? Yeah, that's okay. Alright. I mean, I didn't go through it. I'm still alive. She's dead.
Damn. Brutal.
Yeah, I'm serious. You know, she.
That sounds like a pretty shitty, edgy moment. Okay.
Like, why do I get to complain? She's the one who has to be dead. You know, fuck.
Him buying a Tesla.
Yeah, it sounds like the shitty joke that just missed the mark. It sounds like he's not trying to be disrespectful. He's just more like, hey, what do I have to complain about? She, you know, she's not here. I mean, I don't know his relationship with the friend. Maybe they're really close. Maybe the friend like appreciate that kind of humor. Like, I don't care. Why the fuck are we pretending that we're upset?
Many more examples of him cheating on his diet, a toxic attitude towards his fans, and overall horrible behavior on camera. Needless to say, everyone that watched this video was shocked at the amount of evidence Tom provided, and in the process questioned their own opinion of who Boogie actually is. The earthquake was so devastating that Boogie had to make a response video, and things definitely didn't go so well.
Hey guys, this is a video I've been told not to make by almost every person in the YouTube community. Every creator I know, all of my fans, and everyone else. But I'm at a point now where I feel like I have to address this stuff. I feel like it has reached critical mass, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about it, because either it will help the situation and things will get better, or it will make the situation so much worse that my career is finally over. And I'm kind of okay with either at this point, if I'm being honest.
No one was buying his explanations, and for the first time ever on his channel, Boogie was slowly starting to get more hate than love on YouTube. Something like this was primarily felt when you look at his views, which drastically declined in a span of just a few short months.
I wonder what that video is. I mean, I wonder if there's like a better way to respond to the way that he did. You know, damn. Boogie, I mean, in all honesty, Boogie really just needs a fucking friend. That's really what it comes down to. This guy needs a fucking friend. Because he's just having like he really needs somebody to like run all of his shit through. But I truly, and not even disrespectfully, wonder how emotionally exhausting that would be for somebody. Because like, you know, you still have to maintain boundaries with your friend, you know? I don't know, man. It's gotta be rough.
It seemed that, unlike before, this drama had an actual effect on Boogie's career, a fact he also had a hard time accepting. However, the biggest detractor group that caused Boogie sleepless nights was on Reddit, where a mega thread about him was made called The Hidden Truth That Boogie Doesn't Want You to Know, documenting all of the mistakes Boogie has made while on YouTube. The mega thread was even mentioned in Tom's video, and it was only getting bigger by the day. The Boogie was basically at war with that mega thread from the moment that post gained traction.
Did I see Reddit today? Oh, I seen Reddit today.
I could be his friend? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I think I've talked about it before. Like, he reached out to me before. But that's one of the things that pisses me off about Boogie is that, like, when I was on TikTok, I had my phase of doing sussy shit. And I came to, like, terms when I was like, fuck, I fucked up. Made, like, a whole apology thing. I took, like, a step back and shit. And he reached out to me. He's like, oh, hey, like, I kind of, like, I respect that. Like, I've been in, like, spaces where I've fucked up too. I was like, okay, cool. And I respected that. And I remember he, like, was reaching out for help in some capacity on social media. He said something, like, you know, it's pretty intense, like, emotionally. I DM'd him about it. And he just like didn't respond. I don't know. I don't remember the specifics, but I just kind of felt like he wasn't really struggling if I like reached out and he didn't respond. I don't know. It was weird. Maybe I'm just there's more to the situation that I can't really remember. That's the problem. It happens so long ago. I didn't internalize. I don't give that much of a fuck. But I was like, someone rubbed me the wrong way. Because I don't think it was one time. I think it was multiple times. I'm just trying to be like, yo, what's going on here, right? It felt a little stinky. Maybe he just didn't like me. I don't know. Yeah, I was on TikTok. Did you guys know that?
We don't like Boogie anymore. Good, I don't fucking like you. I don't fucking like you, Reddit. Okay? I don't care. I never care.
That's based up because Reddit's fucking toxic cesspool shit.
Here's how. All right. Hey, let me fucking show you something real quick. Hold on, let me show you something. Okay? Here is right here. Hold on, this is a magic card. This is not what I was going to show you. You guys want to fucking see this? Oh, you guys want to fucking see this? You ready for this?
Ready for it, dude.
You see what this is? This is the world's tiniest violin, okay?
Well, you're not playing it very well. You're just kind of,
Playing the tiny little fucking dirge for how little of a shit I give about what fucking Reddit thinks about me.
Give me the 10 level.
Okay? I don't give a fuck.
He began to despise his detractors more than ever before, because he was afraid of losing his status on YouTube to the point of sheer paranoia. He talked about them more and more on all platforms.
Maybe this is what we call, he's going into goblin mode.
It seemed all he was thinking about were his haters, while keeping his true feelings about them hidden deep inside. Unfortunately for Boogie, everything he felt would blow up on a particular World of Warcraft stream, where one of the viewers asked why Boogie is getting so much hate, prompting Boogie to turn off his reasoning and then proceeded to say this.
Boogie, I don't get why you get so much crap. You have a hard-out life as it is, but especially when you have done so much good and helped so many people. P.S. I love you, no homo.
Full homo, right?
I think I can answer that question, and it's complicated. But I think the most important thing to remind you is that I have made more than my fair share of mistakes. But there's also a group of people out there who like to hate on what's popular to hate on. Your Wings of Redemptions, your Dark Side Phils. They just like to hate on what's popular, and recently it's become popular to hate on me.
There's a level of truth to that. It's called lolcow. Yeah, for sure. There's a level of truth to that. It doesn't mean that all the criticism is unwarranted, but there is a level of truth to that. People find it trendy to like hate on people, and it becomes like the thing to do, for sure. I mean, there's a partial level of truth, and then it could be some of it could be valid, but then you get like this disproportionality to it that kind of ends up ruining it. So
these are the people I despise. If I'm being honest with you, these are the people I dislike. And if I look down on you and you look down on me, but I look down on you, you must be a real piece of shit if I look down on you. Would you agree, guys? If I look down on you, you must be a real fucking loser.
A real stinky
if someone
boy
like me or Darkside Phil or Wings of Redemption looks down on you, you must be one of the worst pieces of shit alive. But I want you to know, I think you are the lowest of the low. I think you are the worst of the worst. I think that there are fucking rapists and Nazis out there who, even though they are rapists and fucking Nazis, they are more redeemable than you because at least they're doing something they fucking believe in. Wow. They may be pieces of garbage, they may be pieces of shit, they may harm other people, but at least they believe what they fucking stand for.
I've never seen the full part of it. I saw that part. It's not justifiable because what a disproportionate response. But it makes a little more sense. This guy's going through his absolute fucking goblin mode here. So I get it a little bit more, I guess. Holy fuck. What an epic gamer moment. Am I right, guys? Holy shit.
In what would be considered one of the worst streams Boogie has ever done, he further sunk his career, with one of the most memorable lines from that stream being that internet trolls are worse than Nazis or rapists. While most of the people laughed at Boogie for his absurd logic, it showed just how much the negative reputation was having an impact on him, to the point where he would say such an absurd thing without thinking. But the lunacy doesn't stop here. Frustrated at a new fanbase that was gathering around his mistakes, Boogie decided to strike back at his detractors. He started to throw around accusations, one of the most notable ones being that he accused people on that subreddit of swatting him. A very serious claim that could put people responsible for such an act behind bars for a very long time. The owner of the subreddit, Haberdasher denied these claims to the fullest extent. To prove his point, the moderator displayed Fayetteville police logs from around the time Boogie claimed he was swatted, and there was no record of any police officers being dispatched to Boogie's residence, to which Boogie responded that the police in the area simply don't record the visits to his house because of the sheer number of swattings he had in the past. Naturally, this claim was insane, and it started to seem like Boogie was lying about this very serious topic. When he realized he backed himself into a corner, Boogie released a series of tweets in which he explained his master plan. How he purposely lied about swattings, hoping that his subreddit detractors would look into his personal information and then the police records, which would prove how obsessive they are about him to dig that deep into his claims and...
Wow. What a fucking cope. This guy's crazy. Dude, he's definitely going through it. Holy fuck. I did it as I lied as a joke. I'm just an epic jokester. Incredible. Okay. I mean, that's probably not true. It's probably a huge fucking cope, but holy fuck. Even if it is true, it's still like fucking weird, man. Okay, cool.
Turn prove how insane that subreddit is and how he was just a victim of unhinged maniacs. If Boogie honestly thought something like this was a good idea, then I suggest that he visits the nearest hospital to check if he has any brain damage, because he just admitted to a federal crime in the hopes of settling internet beef. Amazingly enough, he doubled down on this so...
What's the federal crime? Lying about getting the cops called? Is that illegal? I feel like it's not. Am I wrong about that? Like, okay. I guess I get what you're saying.
much that Boogie even got into the DMs of one of the subreddit members where he said even more deranged things like that he wouldn't mind going to jail if it meant that he would take that subreddit down with him. Boogie also made over 300 tweets in one day, meaning he had a meltdown of apocalyptic proportions. If the hole that Boogie was digging wasn't deep enough, he followed his statements with a now deleted video where he went on yet another rant about how he finally got the upper hand on his detractors.
I have a friend who works for the FBI, and I asked him how to deal with the online harassment that
He's a federal booby inspector. Got him!
Get from a certain subreddit, from Kiwi farms, from places like that. And he told me the only way to fight that stuff back is to expose those people for what they really are. So that's what this video is.
I mean, literally, the best way to fight back is to just not talk to them. This person might actually be an FBI person, has no idea how the internet works, so...
I'm going to show you some receipts that I think you should see. And after talking to my friend at the FBI, after talking to a friend in PR, they made a suggestion, and that was to bait them and see what would happen. So I did. I had a private conversation with somebody I knew who posted on that message board, and I filled it full of tons of misinformation to see what they would grab a hold of. I told them all kinds of outlandish stuff. I told them that I was writing a book, which is not an entire lie, but I told them that I was swatted twice in...
Yeah, I lied to him. And the first thing I lied about wasn't actually a lie. It's incredible. That doesn't really bode well for you, brother. I don't know what he's... Yeah, this wasn't exactly a lie.
December.
Oh
I told them that that I dated a girl that was 43 years old for the last couple of years because I wanted to see what they would do with this information, and I just wanted to keep them busy. What they latched onto, though, I was totally surprised with what they latched on because they incriminated themselves so beautifully that I can't... If you have respect for these people after me showing you this, then I don't want you to have respect for me because I no longer
what are you doing?
you. Right here, in one of the most upvoted posts on this entire subreddit, they show where they both doxed me, where they searched police records involving my address and my home information, and they have literally gone completely batshit insane.
It's almost unbelievable how Boogie handled this situation.
Bro, why are we
as if he was
pulling this
purposely
stuff?
sabotaging
Holy
himself.
fuck.
With deranged outbursts like these, he became even more unpopular, which meant he was again losing his already dwindling fanbase, something that could be noticed by again taking a look at views on his channel. However, there were a few successful videos here and there, like when Boogie got dental implants to replace his rotten teeth, which was similar to the success he had with his gastric bypass videos, but there is only so much body modification a person can do to stay relevant on YouTube, on top of his newfound
Well, to me, it feels more like he made a significant life change, and people are like, wow, this is the Boogie I like. I mean, it's possible. It's like, oh, I just like the positive Boogie. Maybe go back to that. I don't know, rings that to me a little bit more. I mean, could be wrong, but...
For me, other members of the community began to despise him, and Boogie was soon cut off from his old friends.
You know, it's one person that ruins it for everyone. I can understand.
It's been great for me.
Yeah.
Every YouTuber I've met, I've liked. Every fan
I hate Boogie2988.
Leave him alone, man.
Haven't met him. Every fan subscriber I've met, perfectly nice.
Boogie2988 once was a very respectable member of the YouTube community, right?
I mean, his most popular video was Fat Man falls into a fucking pool. I don't
Oh my
think
God, he was
that
me.
respectable.
Amazingly enough, all of this pales in comparison to yet another incident that will befell Boogie.
Beating the troll.
Boogie would soon clash with another YouTuber called Frank Hustle, a shady character on the
Frank
platform who
Hustle?
gained fame by harassing people in public. Frank was a notorious figure, and Boogie definitely didn't need to fight this battle, but he did. As a result, Frank and him started arguing, and then everything escalated into a public brawl. But don't think this was just an indecisive battle, because Frank played Boogie like a fiddle in every encounter they had, saying pretty much anything to get him upset, which resulted in Boogie having multiple meltdowns.
They pretend I am, and I can't fucking believe what it looks like.
You're fat and annoying.
Yeah, I am. I'm comfortable with that.
Sorry.
I paid over $1 million being that, so I'm pretty happy with it.
And where are you now? Fat, old, lonely. Dude, you were messaging me yesterday telling me that you trust me and that you think I'm a good guy. And
Yeah, I was hoping, man. I was hoping, man.
I met
It's
you
okay,
2
it
days
turns out
ago.
I
And you're
was
like,
wrong.
bro, I trust you. Do whatever, bro. I trust you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just get your testosterone levels checked, bro.
Oh, I take this out.
Oh my god, Boogie really is playing himself. This is the wrong way. Come on, dude, it's over here. What is this guy doing? This guy's a fucking idiot.
Once every 2 weeks, I have really low testosterone, so I have to inject myself.
No,
I
wait.
can fucking tell. I can fucking tell.
That was man. I'm warning you, and I get that guy earlier doesn't believe it, but people get in the middle of fights here. If you fucking reach out and touch me, or we start arguing, somebody's gonna end up hurting you, man. I don't want
Shut the
that.
fuck up, bro. I don't care. Shut up. You're like fucking warning me. I don't give a fuck.
I genuinely don't. You want to hear a story from therapy? It's super amusing.
Not really, no. I don't.
Okay. Alright, cool.
The biggest thing that agitated Boogie was when Frank said that he would come to Arkansas to harass him in person. Boogie responded with a plethora of threats, one of which was that he would shoot Frank on sight if he ever dared to show his face anywhere near his house. His heated reaction to that subject matter only motivated Frank to actually fulfill his promise. On September 27, 2020, Frank posted a picture of him in Fayetteville, a town in which Boogie lived. By the looks of it, it appeared that Frank was serious when he said that he would meet Boogie in person. This tweet caused such a shit show that Boogie would go on drama alert to have another encounter with Frank, in which he threatened even more to take his life.
Do you understand that this is what you do to people? Do you understand that this is what you're doing to me? You've picked somebody with post-traumatic stress disorder to target with this type of harassment. What the fuck are you doing in Fayetteville, Arkansas? Why did you travel several states to pull this shit? I've told you to fucking leave me alone, and I will fucking end you if you step foot on my fucking property, Frank. Why, Frank? Why?
Because
what the fuck? It's not fucking funny, Frank. It's not fucking funny. When
I understand if he doesn't like the confrontation, why does he become try to become friendly with the people? I guess that's like his way of trying to like defuse the situation or something. But he'd be better off just not doing anything, or excuse me, better off just like not be trying to be friends with people. You know what I mean? That you're better off just kind of just keeping to yourself.
you're laying dead on my fucking front lawn, that won't be fucking funny.
Okay, but Boogie,
Boogie was still unaware of how this situation worked, as all of his threats only served to encourage Frank to do even more shit to upset him. All of this culminated in Frank actually arriving at Boogie's house a day later, providing us with one of the most memorable interactions ever recorded.
Open the door, you fat sack of shit!
Got him.
Come on, you fucking pussy, what's the deal?
There were a lot of things Boogie could have done to solve this situation. He could have refused to open the door, a sensible thing since Frank is just a troll looking for attention.
I mean, personally, I would just call the police. Be like, hey, there's somebody on my property, I've asked them to leave, and that's it. Like, I wouldn't engage or anything like that. So, you know, that's what you gotta do.
Unfortunately, he did open the door on that fateful day of September 28th, and what's more, he was holding a gun in his hand and pointing it at Frank.
Pull the trigger.
Okay. Is this what I have to do?
Jesus,
you fat fucking oh my god. Is this real? Is this guy gonna kill me?
Yes. Unbeknownst to Boogie, by pulling this charade, he has already fulfilled all of Frank's wildest dreams, since he gave him an abnormal amount of undeserved attention, as well as getting agitated to the point where he actually came out of his house with a handgun. Frank realized that, although unarmed, he was in complete control of the situation. Seeing how enraged Boogie was, he decided to push even harder in the hopes of making him do something stupid. Unfortunately, Boogie fell for the obvious bait, and then went on to make one of the worst decisions of his life.
I'm asking you to leave. In about 30 seconds, I'm gonna fire a warning shot.
Fire it now! Fire the warning shot now!
The fucking music is fucking crazy.
Boogie shot his handgun in the air as a warning shot to scare Frank enough to leave his property, which he eventually did. Regrettably, the cost of such a stupid act would be paid solely by Boogie, as shooting a gun in an urban area is both dangerous and illegal. This clip of Boogie going out to shoot his gun went viral, and for some time he garnered a large amount of attention, but unfortunately it was again for all the wrong reasons. Everyone commented on the situation and how terribly Boogie reacted to it. Again, even in this unsettling circumstance, Boogie couldn't stop himself from displaying his hatred for anyone talking bad things about him, and because of that hatred, he again made a fool of himself, this time on a livestream called Boulder Talk Radio, hosted by Matt Jarbo. You might wonder who this particular person is, so let me tell you a little bit about him. Mundane Matt, or Matt Jarbo, was a relatively popular YouTuber back in the day, rising to prominence on YouTube during the Gamergate era with his videos that targeted SJWs in a form of criticism and or mockery. He would in fact have his own showdown with Anita Sarkeesian, in which he amassed a sizable fanbase. After the Gamergate saga ended, he would make various videos regarding gaming or any other issue he might come across. In other words, he was part
Yeah, with that gun, it was unfortunate because there was like just like a little pop, pop. It was a very non-intimidating shot. Not that, you know, but it just sounded like, you want me to do it? And it just sounds like a pop, like one of those poppers you pull for fucking New Year's. It was almost anticlimactic, you know? It's like a fucking huge lion roaring like a little cat.
Of a commentary community. Unfortunately, the true integrity of his character would be revealed to everyone on a stream hosted by Ethan Ralph called The Kill Stream, where it was discovered that he flagged videos that were criticizing or making fun of him.
I had something to say to Mundane Matt. One, earlier you asked why would you come on, and the reason is you've been deflecting and you know, spinning everything so far. And two,
I've been telling the truth the entire time, so
I don't think it's the truth. But the second thing is there is a way you can show your reporting history on YouTube. I'll link it in the chat. So if you didn't do it, it should have nothing in it, correct? It
No,
got
I'm,
super
I'm,
quiet.
I'm reading. I'm reading.
It's literally like 7 sentences, buddy.
All right, here we go. Screen shares live. Let's see it.
All right, hold on. My pants are off.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right,
Matt,
fine.
what are you doing?
Was that the quartering? What the fuck?
How's it taking this long?
Look at all those tabs.
I have a lot of tabs open, but I have.
Thanks for reporting.
But nothing.
Now wait a minute.
Nothing on that. That's
video.
just okay.
Lied
Hold
to
on.
us.
Dude, what?
Straight to our face. He lied straight to our fucking face.
For an hour.
Yes, you heard that right. A man who was fighting against censorship was censoring people who had something bad to say about him. Keep in mind that he tried to keep all of this a secret until the people on the panel managed to reveal the truth. Naturally, after this scandal, Matt lost all of his viewers, basically turning his channel into a wasteland overnight.
Oh, okay. I was like sitting here. I'm like, what the fuck? Like none of that sounded like Boogie. I was a little confused. Like, are we on a new video? Okay, so this person lost all of his shit for like trying to censor other people for it. Okay.
It is ironic that a YouTuber who was fighting for integrity and free speech in video games turned out to have as much integrity as a wet napkin. Surprisingly enough, Matt was still making content after that scandal. This is important to us because among that content he also started streaming. Sometime after the Boogie and Frank incident, Matt would fire up a stream that was probably only watched by his mother and one of his alt accounts. Here he would make a wild claim that the Boogie and Frank incident looked staged to him, basically proposing the idea that both parties fabricated the entire event.
Everything in my gut is telling me that it was fake. Everything I know about video production and the internet and everything else is telling me that it is fake. But I don't know. Again, I could be wrong.
Naturally, when an
Sounds more like this guy's just trying to be fucking relevant. They didn't think I know about video production? What does that even mean, bro? What the fuck? I have to get my truth card so that I can fucking do this thing. God damn it.
intellectual titan like Matt makes such a delusional statement with basically no audience since no one is watching his shitty streams, a normal person would just ignore these kinds of conspiratorial ramblings. But, as previously demonstrated, Boogie was on a mission to make his life as difficult as possible, so he hopped on Matt's stream to give him a piece of his mind, embarrassing himself live yet again.
All right, Boogie, is that you?
Yeah. Can you
Hey,
hear
what's
me?
up, man? Yeah. Listen, I don't know if you're paying attention or not. I'm talking through. I'm talking through this
I'm
thing.
gonna be very short because I've had a very long day.
Yeah, I'm just talking it through, man.
No, you need to stop propagating that this is fake.
Okay.
You need to stop considering that idea. There's a 0% chance that I'm such a worthless piece of shit that I would fake something like this. You invite me to this live stream, I click on the link to listen to it, and I have to listen to you accuse me of being such a low piece of
I
shit
am
that you think
asking
I would fake
questions.
something like that. You shouldn't ask questions like this. Hey, do you fuck your own mother? That's a question I could ask.
No.
Do you
Okay, incredible. Hey, I've thought about it before. No, just kidding. I did go on my mom once. I came out of her actually when I was born. So this is a weird joke. Oh my goodness. Anyway, why is Boogie even like pretending like this is real? Like, why did he bother responding to this?
less children, Matt? That's a question I could ask.
No.
But I would never think so little of you.
I'm
I would
not
never
thinking
think
that
so
you
little
did.
of you. So do
I'm
not
asking-
think so little of me to think that I would fake something like that. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. You are disgusting.
This time, however, Boogie was not satisfied by just giving another rant on a public platform, so he
My wife, when I get naked, that's what she says.
He also decided to go deeper by admitting live on stream that he wanted to kill himself a year ago in the hopes it would stop the harassment on YouTube.
Well, here's the reality of what just really happened, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
You there?
I'm here. I'm listening.
A year ago, I was ready to kill myself to try to change this platform because of this type of harassment that showed up at my front door today. Because Reddit didn't give a fuck. Because Keemstar didn't give a fuck. Because no one gave a fuck about Etika.
I shouldn't.
No, I mean, people talked about it, but nothing changed. YouTube didn't change. Keemstar didn't change. 4chan didn't change. Reddit didn't change. Nothing changed. Commentary community just ate it up and profited off of Etika's fucking death. And I was ready to fucking go. I was ready to put a bullet in my head. Actually, I was going to take pills.
There's a little bit of irony here where he's talking about how, because I don't know, when Etika passed, I wasn't active or anything. So where he's talking about how people just kind of ate it up and they used it for content, blah, 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 blah. Okay. While it's like using that situation to, it kind of feels like sympathy baiting. Also, by the way, you're going to take pills. That's what a woman way to go. You should have just went, well, you don't do any of it. But women take pills. Men don't do any of these things regardless. Okay. It's all bad. Okay. Never go that route. I'm just saying, bro.
But I was ready to fucking end my life in the hopes that it would make a fucking difference. Because as bad as it was that Etika died, he wasn't as big of a creator. I had more subscribers, I had more views, and I've been on the platform longer. And so I thought,
You're gonna kill yourself as a social statement? Come on, bro. This is just weird now. What are you saying? What are the things that you're even saying at this point? This is fucking unhinged.
I could signal boost Etika.
And these are the
What?
thoughts I had. And I went to VidCon and I talked to everyone about it. Everyone that would listen.
He was most likely referring to this video called Why I Almost Took My Own Life in 2019 and Why I Didn't, Setting It Straight, where he talked about his difficulties after divorce and gastric bypass surgery. This disastrous stream had no effect on Matt, since his career on YouTube was practically over, and later on he also deleted all of his videos except for one called Allow Me to Introduce Myself, which received mostly negative feedback, meaning that his channel was left in the deepest, darkest parts of the warp where it fucking belongs. However, Boogie still had some remnants of a following, so he would suffer the brunt of the assault caused by his appearance on that unfortunate stream. His shenanigans with the big iron on his hip would actually land him in a jail for a day, and after a year of legal issues he now also had a felony charge to his name, which means that Boogie was now officially a criminal. You can only imagine how all this had an effect on his mental state, which was not that great to begin with. With no one to turn to, Boogie started to make more rambling videos, where he talked about how bad he was doing, hoping to gain the much needed support from his audience. Unfortunately, such content isn't something people want to watch, because for most of them YouTube is an escape from their own depressing reality, not a place where they can get more of the same. Boogie tried to fix this by showcasing his new attempts at weight loss, but by this point people had become very uninterested in his weight, meaning he still couldn't reclaim some of the past fame. At the start of 2021, Boogie made a very strange video called I'm Finally Rich, How Crypto Made Me Rich. It was something completely out of left field.
This is where everything like re-sparks itself. This whole crypto thing is what really puts everything back on the map. This whole thing is fucking crazy. By the way, thank you so much for the large gut blue too. I don't know why it didn't announce it yet, so I'm sorry about that.
And no one was sure what Boogie was trying to do with this. By the title alone, you could already guess what the video is about. He started by saying that money was no longer a problem for him, because he invested all of the money he had into crypto, which quadrupled it.
Not about the attention, it's not about the views. And these days, it's especially not about the money, and let me explain why. You remember back in 2019 when I was completely out of my mind and talking openly on Twitter and elsewhere about just deleting myself at some point? I did something very stupid that I do not recommend anyone else ever do. But it worked. I basically took every dime I had in liquid funds and invested it in a huge gamble. And I did this at the advice of my friend Jesse Ridgway, McJuggernuggets, who guaranteed that money, saying that if the money disappeared, he would help take care of me and help me rebuild. First off, let me say that I'm not a financial advisor. I do not recommend that you do what I did. It was a very stupid risk. But I invested pretty much everything I had into cryptocurrency. And I pulled it out a couple of times and I put it back in a couple of times. So I probably didn't do as well as I could have, but I invested all the way back here. And yeah, that's where we currently are with that market. So to say that I doubled my money is an understatement. In fact, I did more than that.
Everyone watching this was puzzled as to what was Boogie trying to say with this, but it is important to keep this video in mind as we will need it later. Around this time, Boogie's channel fell on even harder times, with an average video viewership that could only be described as abysmal. His 4 million subscriber channel had an average of 50,000 views even before the incident with Frank, but like I said before, sometimes he would post a video that would do really well, like the one where he was going with his YouTuber friend McJuggernuggets.
Hey, I'll take 50,000 views, bro. You know what I mean? Per video? Shit, dude. But since I post so much, I'll be fucking boost.
Nuggets to his hometown, showcasing landmarks and talking about his childhood.
Alright, I'm gonna go pee real quick, I think. I'm pissed like a fucking animal. Very immature. Let's continue!
The premise of this video is very good, with Boogie showing the actual buildings he was referring to in his old videos. Even here, people were doubting his credibility, because in the next video, in which he was exploring his abandoned childhood home, everything seemed fabricated. What I mean by that is the setup for exploring this house was almost too perfect, because the moment
Was he doing like a ghost hunters on his own house?
they entered the house, his mother's teaching degree was sitting on the floor for everyone to see. They also found one of his brother's articles, but the most incredible find was a pristine picture of him, his brother and his mother that had been exposed to the elements for decades but was still in perfect condition. He also
Well, it looks like it's in that laminate thing. I don't know.
also tried getting views by recreating some of his most famous videos from the past, like Dramatic Fat Guy Splash 2021, but comparing the two videos, it was easy to conclude that his success was minimal. Whatever the case may be,
Hey, 128K? Sheesh.
it was almost unbelievable that Boogie was still making videos despite his low analytics, and he still makes them to this very day. The main difference now...
I mean, you can't just stop making content just because it's not doing as well, especially if you can still maintain success. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, fundamentally speaking, this is something to keep in mind there, brother.
Is that he has lost ties with a number of other YouTubers, including his friend McJuggernuggets and most notably Ethan Klein from H3H3 podcast over a tweet he said while Ethan was in the hospital. As we reach the current day, it seems like Boogie's performance on YouTube...
Oh, I forgot that tweet. It was so weird. I forget the specifics, but it was a bizarre tweet that he laid out. Wow, what was it? It was so weird. Such a weird tweet that he had said. I forget what it was. But it was like kind of like it was something about Ethan went to the hospital and then bro, I fucking forgot what it was. So bizarre. I don't even remember. But it was like an overstep of boundaries, I think was the biggest the issue there. So
isn't getting any better. If anything, things have only gotten worse for him when he posted the infamous video called I Need Your Help, which was released on October 5th.
Yeah.
The premise is as follows. Boogie admitted that all of his cryptocurrency investments had crashed at some point, meaning he had lost everything. At first it seemed like Boogie was trying to tell his story, but the main purpose of the video was soon revealed when he started to beg his viewers for donations and or t-shirt purchases.
Yeah.
Well, this is a video I've dreaded making, but it's time. So I'm asking for your help as we head into the holiday season. And I'm not making any excuses here.
Well, before this video, I took a look at Boogie. Like, just to see what was going on. And, like, you know, because that video was big. It's one thing to be like, hey, guys, I have something to offer if you want to blah, blah, blah. But it's very baggy. But he's talking about, bro, I still don't get it. If you look at his channel, he got a video from 1 day ago and then a video from 7 days ago and 9 days ago. It's like, how are you releasing one video maybe every other day? And you're begging for money. I just feel like there's no way you're making enough money to sustain yourself. Like, release a video every day. Like, I don't know, it's just not even that much work. It's a minimal effort. It's not that hard. What the fuck are you doing?
You know, I spent a tremendous amount of money on dumb things. But the biggest issue is that I had a nice big nest egg. I took some financial advice from a friend, and I'm not pointing fingers necessarily. I took the advice, but I put my money in the crypto market in the wrong section, and I pretty much lost most of everything. That
Dang,
sucks.
dude.
That really sucks.
Diversify your bonds, brother.
So that's why I'm asking for your help today, and it's as simple as two groups of people here I want to talk to. The first of which is fans who just like the content. If you click on videos you like and you watch them to the end and you drop a like and you leave a comment and you share it with friends and you click the notifications, you do the YouTube stuff, you're doing plenty. If that's all you want to do, if that's all you can do, I love you to death. You mean everything to me, right? There's a second group of people who might find themselves...
He's not that creative. Yeah, part of it also might just be because he's so, like... he's so worried about controversy, he won't talk about like anything that's potentially controversial. So
able to do a little more, and if you're one of those people, I'm asking for your help today too. Do you like the t-shirts I have? This one's not in the merch lane shop yet, but there's several. And I'm making new designs all the time.
Videos to YouTube.
If you like a
At this
t-shirt,
point, since
buy a
I'm making
t-shirt.
oh my god, he put the fucking DSP. I was like, what's that sound? What's happening? Oh my lord.
Money whatsoever on DSP Gaming, and I
There are a lot of words coming through my head while watching this video. Sad, pathetic, shameless, but one word on which we can all agree would be embarrassing. The fact that Boogie actually posted something like this on his channel is unconscionable. The reaction was as you might expect, with Boogie gaining even more negative attention in the form of literally everyone on the internet lashing out on him, especially given that not even a year before he boasted about how crypto made him rich. By making this video, Boogie crossed another milestone on his way to the bottom, since now even e-begging is on the table. The comments on the said video were no better, so I'll just read some of them to show you how awkward this situation was. Here is a man who was awarded for his hunger and work as an entertainer, which
how the fuck is this guy gonna keep as a DPS? We need a tank, you idiot. Fuck.
raised his financial rank so much that he forgot what a growling stomach sounded like.
This is
Now,
what we need
after
to
years of
do.
leisure and
There we
complacency,
go.
he becomes reacquainted with the growl and turns to those who experience constant growling to help him make it stop. Most people with depression, anxiety, and financial issues have to deal with life. It's time you do too, Boogie. That was a really good one.
dude.
I wake up every morning and thank the universe I'm not Boogie2988. The last one I think
dude.
hits the nail on the head. I want to express my disgust with manipulative internet celebrities and their toxic relationships with their fan bases, but I think the comment section already has that covered. Just please, don't donate money to this guy. He'll be fine. If you wish to donate, give that money to an actual charity. There's millions of people in immensely worse positions than Boogie is right now. This is pretty much what his audience thinks of him, and if you want to see how much other members of the YouTube community think of him, all you have to do is watch one of the millions of responses to this video, all of which mock Boogie to oblivion for his absurd life choices and
Yeah, you can watch mine. It's the best one out there.
flawed reasoning. Boogie did, in fact, make a follow-up video to this one, in which he expressed his gratitude to his audience for their overwhelming support during his time of need. Ironically, this video was recorded in his room, and for a man with a horrible financial situation, he sure as shit has a lot of collectibles and other equipment in his background.
It's true, maybe you could sell some of those.
This picture is a perfect summary of where Boogie's priorities really are.
I want to say that I am utterly and completely humbled by this, because when I
I'm utterly and completely humbled.
uploaded that video, I expected nothing but negativity
specifically because I left out a lot of reasons that I was having money problems. I left out the fact that I spent $27,000 in legal fees. I left out the fact that it's hard for me to keep a sponsor because there's people.
It was so weird because he put this really bizarre he made a bizarre video that talked about like his monthly expenses, but he never put like the cost of food in there. It was so weird.
People who hate me and write my sponsors until they drop me.
Boogie did earn more than $1,000 on his e-begging video, but at the price of his already diminishing reputation. He also addressed some of the comments that were left for him.
Now this commenter left a comment that the majority of people left, which basically boils down to, I have no sympathy for you. You need to get out there and work just the way that I am. And I got a lot to say about that. First off, he's not wrong. The majority of people need to work for a living in a 9-to-5 job. And I might very well be one of those people. And I've started looking. This deck is stacked against me a little bit, though, because keep in mind, I've been disabled since 2008. I don't have a working back. I can barely stand up. I can barely move. That's why I have to be in the pool for exercise. That's why boxing was probably only a pipe dream, but it's something I work towards anyway and will continue.
Probably. It's definitely. What the fuck?
Continue to work towards. On top of that, I'm mentally ill. I also have no work history. Pretty much.
Me too. I'm mentally ill. Cue epic skateboard, a guitar riff. Wow. Got him.
The last job I actually had was back in 2007, and the woman who hired me for a small business has been dead since 2008.
Damn, dude.
On top of that, I'm also a felon. So I need to find somebody who hire a mentally ill, disabled felon with no work history and no degree. I'm sure that job's out there.
McDonald's, yeah.
Let me translate what Boogie just said. Hey guys, in the decade since I started YouTube, I have made no real effort to better myself. If anything, my bad habits have gotten the worst out of me, and in the end, I am in an even worse position than before. So why are you stupid fucks recommending I get a real job when clearly I have made myself unemployable? He also tried to explain his side of the story and make excuses.
My buddy went fucking AFK. The second we got a tank and the tank just left. Oh my god.
For his shameless e-begging video, citing that many other creators ask for support and it is never a problem when they do it.
First, let me say that every YouTuber I watch has channel memberships turned on or Patreon, and they remind you occasionally to go check them out, right? Every live streamer I watch allows people to donate directly to them, right? Every content creator I watch reminds you to drop a like on the video or the live stream, to hit follow, to hit subscribe.
Yeah, but that wasn't exactly what happened though, right? Like, we understand that. It wasn't just like, hey, drop a like and a follow. It was like a begging for money, even though you weren't putting out any content stuff. Like, one of the things that bothered me was like, yeah, maybe if I get enough memberships, I'll start doing membership only content. I'm like, you should do the content first beforehand, you know?
To share it with people you love. So what is it that I did differently that makes people angrier or more critical?
Well, Boogie, I will tell you exactly what you did differently. There is a significant difference between a YouTuber who reminds his audience about his Patreon or membership in a video that has actual content in it, and a YouTuber who creates a video solely to emotionally manipulate their audience into financially supporting their own poor financial decisions. Let's make a real-life example. If a person you knew went to a casino and lost his entire wage in one afternoon, would it be reasonable for him to go out and ask for money from strangers? But it doesn't stop here.
No, I guess it would be reasonable if he wanted his fucking money back, but but no, that was
Boogie's hatred for other creators who reacted to his video was hard to hide, whether it be on Twitter or on his YouTube channel. On one particular video called How YouTube Promotes Abuse, he gave yet another rant on how he was dissatisfied with his platform and how people on it were treating him.
YouTube profits when I dare speak out against it, and YouTube profits when a large creator dunks on me for talking about it. They make millions. If you know me as a creator, as a friend, as a fan, you'll know it's so beyond reality, it's laughable. Boogie's never actually been mentally ill. Boogie could lose the weight if he wants to. Boogie is abusive to women. Boogie posts to TikTok to fuck children. You've heard this shit.
What?
Content creators have posted this shit.
What the fuck is he talking about now? The fuck children? What?
Over and over again on this platform. YouTube has profited from it, and when I speak out against it, large creators punch down to make fun of me for taking the fucking bait.
This video
I hate this punching down here. It's so fucking pathetic. Oh my god. Okay.
It also contains the absolutely astonishing claim that the reason why people hate DSP, Wings of Redemption, and him is primarily because they are fat and autistic.
And there's a whole...
I mean, did he say autistic? That's funny. I mean, there might be an argument to it that like their weight is a factor in them getting harassed. Maybe. It's possible. But I mean, I think it's probably more the way that they react to particular content, more than anything else. More than because like people have become lol cows, you know. they keep taking the bait. Maybe it's a bunch of people who like fucking cope eat, and then they end up they just have issues with responding with criticism in general, and that's why they're already eating. You know what I mean? Like they already have like shit going on in their life that makes them sensitive to criticism. And then you add this whole skladuple on it.
Group of people they call lol cows that YouTube makes money off of their harassment of, right? Wings of Redemption, Dark Side Phil. I mean, you know who I'm talking about. It's funny what those guys have in common, huh? Fat and autistic. The internet didn't change that much.
He again showed...
Is Boogie saying that he's autistic? Wait, when did they become autistic? I don't understand. Like, what? Where's the autism claim coming from? This guy is so based standing it in a fucking healing circle. Oh, I couldn't imagine doing DPS like that. Dude, this fucking... What the fuck? This DK's doing so much damage.
That he still gave criticism more attention that was necessary and in the process did not acknowledge his own shortcomings. By this point in time, shame was long gone from Boogie2988's channel, so he figured he might as well announce the creation of his OnlyFans account. Meaning, Boogie doesn't care what he brings to this godforsaken land as long as he can make a quick buck.
Okay, so if you're a super fan, you made it this far in the video, I'm going to pitch an idea for you, okay? I don't know what you're going to think, and your opinion probably won't change my plan to do this, but I do want to hear your opinion, okay? So I've applied to get an OnlyFans account, and... people think I'm going to post like pictures of my butthole and that kind of thing. And look, I'm not above doing that. If it was going to make me a tremendous amount of money, I would gladly do that. But what I do want to do...
Hey, you got to show the butthole first, and then we'll decide if we want to give you money, Boogie. You know what I'm saying, dude? That's just the way it is, dude. You got to show the butthole first. There's no promises. There's no guarantees in life, bro. All right? Just the way it works.
There is upload...
Juan Matos super chatted $4.99. Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's Boogie. Wings of Redemption and Papa Gut.
True, dude. Fucking true.
Pictures of the dog. Yeah, I'll probably upload shirtless TikToks and shirtless boudoir photos if that's entertaining to people. As it is right now, all I want to do is goofy, shirtless nonsense. But if the money was there...
Goofy, dude?
If the money was there, never say never.
It looks like Boogie's delusional state made him believe that he might succeed in the sex industry, while in reality he soon...
Well, people might just like, ew, that's disgusting. Oh, I hate that, you know? Just think it's like as a goof. Now, if I made an OnlyFans, people would like legitimately buy it. And they'd be like, wow, this guy's hot. Some people will be like, no, you pretend that you didn't think I was sexy, but the reality is, brother, I can't resist the gut.
Won't be working in any industry with the way he has conducted himself. Something that could be easily concluded when you take a quick glance at the current state of his YouTube channel, showing just how much of a void it has become. Because his average viewership dropped from 50,000 to 30,000, which is a very depressing fact when you consider his 4 million subscriber channel. But even that 4 million will eventually drop to 3, because Boogie has been losing subscribers since 2019 when he had 4.6 million. The flesh of a rotting carcass that is his channel now only serves to feed many detractor channels, some of which quickly gained a sizable following by simply reacting to and mocking Boogie's content. To show you just how much he is disliked, sizable following by simply reacting to and mocking Boogie's content. To show you just how much he is disliked on this platform now, on November 16th, Boogie made a video where he revealed that he has a rare form of blood cancer, which could potentially kill him in 20 years from now.
Turns out I got a rare blood cancer called polycythemia vera, which basically makes your body produce too many red blood cells. And when I started taking that testosterone supplement 7 or 8 years ago, however long it's been, we knew that this was a possibility. You never think you're going to be the...
I don't think it's like a particularly like dangerous type of cancer. Not that cancer is good or anything. I'm just saying when we talk about it, he's even admitted that himself. So,
guy who gets that side effect though, right?
Even such tragic news did not deter his detractors, the majority of whom believe Boogie is lying about his diagnosis in order to gain attention and views. Boogie again responded to these accusations on Twitter, this time claiming that he will flake creators who talk about that slander and even potentially sue them. It seems like Boogie lost all of the influence he had before, since now he is ridiculed for anything he does on this platform, while in the meantime his channel is dying from the death of 1,000 cuts. It is regretful that this trend shows no signs of stopping, which leaves Boogie in a very uncomfortable position.
Conclusion.
Making a video like this wasn't easy. Boogie was a big part of my life in the past, and
I'll tell you one thing, I'm surprised that like there was so much information I didn't know about Boogie in here. It's a pretty in-depth video. Just saying about that, that's pretty good.
Many of his old videos still hold a great value to me. However, pretending that nothing is wrong would be denying reality, something which Boogie appears to do all the time these days. His reputation has drastically shifted from that of Mr. Rogers of YouTube to that of a DSP clone in recent years. But everyone who makes that comparison forgets the main difference between these two creators. The biggest tragedy of DSP is what he could have been, while the tragedy of Boogie is what he was. A gentle giant who shared stories about his traumatic past while trying to give his audience advice on how to improve their own lives. That old Boogie eventually turned into a man-child who then lost his fans by converting his channel into a therapy session, having awful reactions to criticism and scolding people for failing to live up to standards that he himself could not meet. Unfortunately for him, the good days are gone and there is no going back. From our point of view, it seems like the only way Boogie could truly be happy is if he left the internet for good. But the problem with that is, if he ever does that, there will be nothing left. Boogie has become its prisoner. His channel is the main source of both his happiness and his sorrow. He knows that without YouTube, he has nothing, and that is truly depressing to say. The future is grim, and it is regrettable that Boogie must face it alone. Time can only tell if he will find the peace he so desperately craves.
Okay. Well, that was a good video, dude. Can't lie. Well, I just fucking ate a dick on that one. Just do this.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.